joining me on Harlequins Live for the first time, Premiership winner, George Robson. I'm going to shake your hand actually, it is so great to have you here. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks.
That was quite a long-winded introduction that you were very, very patient throughout. Let's talk about you and Harlequins, because it's been a while since you were out there at the Stoop, but I follow you on social media, you still seem pretty involved.
Oh yeah, well look, I mean, it's been great more recently, especially like last season and this season, the way the guys are playing rugby, you can't help but love it and get sucked into it, right? So, and obviously still friends with a lot of the guys, and looking forward to seeing what happens today on the pitch.
When was the last time you were here?
At the Stoop, it would have been pre-COVID, and there's a couple of times, but they were heavily drink induced. One of them was London Irish, and I was in that box over there on the far side with a friend, a guy called Steve Novak who does Cattle Grid. I'll shout out to Steve, get down to Cattle Grid, buy some ribs, but yeah, I was with him, and we had quite a few beers, because I think there's a promotion there where you can fill your boots until half time.
Crikey, okay.
And I'm sure they've done the predictive analytics on it, and it works for the tab. But yeah, it's not great for remembering second halves, or indeed who the opposition are.
Well, it was Quins versus Irish, also known as the George Robson derby, but it is great to have you here today. You've still got mates out there on the pitch. Are you sort of keeping in touch with what's going on Premiership wise?
Yeah. So I watched the game, the highlights here and there, and make sure I keep an eye on Quins. We've got a WhatsApp group from 2012, which is. It's probably not really much I can say other than that we've got a WhatsApp group from 2012. Just
no
remembering some of the birthday messages and screenshots in the last week with Geordie and Danny's birthdays. So every now and again get a really interesting sort of throwback that doesn't necessarily make social media, but it's great to be back at the Stoop.
And it's great to have you back as well. I'm going to throw you straight into prediction action, because we've got a competition today. You guys watching at home, one of you will be the lucky winner of this jersey. It is a match-worn Archie White shirt with 6 on the back, and all you have to do to be in with a chance of winning is tell us who you think the last try scorer will be for Harlequins today. Whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, get in the chat section, let us know who you think will be the last try scorer. If more than one person guesses the same person, then there will be a draw, but at the end of the show we'll let you know who wins it. So your prediction?
I'm going to go with I reckon he'll do a good 80-minute performance. No, actually, you know what I'm going to predict?
Go on.
I'd predict the last try is going to be scored in a rolling maul in the first 15 minutes by Will Collier.
Will Collier.
On his 200, the big 200, that's what I'm going to go with, yeah.
Well,
I like that.
I'm looking forward to speaking to you about Carl, actually, because you two go way back. But before that, let's hear from Tabai Matson. Tabs, hello. Feels like a little while since we've had one of these conversations. How are you?
You've clearly had too good a festive period, because I've been working through Christmas and New Year's.
I have too, but not as hard as you. Let's start with the festive period then, and the big game. A great win, great occasion. How was it for you?
I didn't realise how big it was until I was walking across from the Stoop, through the fans, going to a stadium with 70,000 people. That was one of those things I've ticked off on my bucket list. It was absolutely amazing.
And I'm not going to say it was typical Quins, but not a great start, but a very good finish. Lots to be happy about from that performance.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, that finishing strong is great, but like as a coach, it's like, let's start better, lads. We've got to start better, surely.
And you certainly did a better second half start against Gloucester as well. Something I've been interested in is, before December, came out on the wrong side of a couple of arm wrestles, but then there was the game against Gloucester away, won the arm wrestle, and the away game in Castor as well, coming out on the right side of a game that was decided by one score. That must have felt pretty good.
Yeah, and this time of year, like there's a little bit more focus on defence. It's often easier to reduce points than score points this time of year, so that's keep helping us stay in the game. And you're right, the arm wrestle is important this time of year, and when you get on the positive end of them, it's pretty important.
A couple of players have reached landmarks. Firstly, last week, let's talk about Tom Lauday. 50 games in the quarters, and this season, when you called upon him, he's been fantastic.
He has played so well. He's maybe been one of our most consistent loose forwards, and forwards in particular. He's a bit of a glue guy, but he's more than that. He's played every position this year in the loose forwards, and to play 50 for us is I know it's a milestone, but he was really proud of that mark.
And Will Collier, a cornerstone of the pack this season and for many seasons, 200 appearances in the quarters.
Yeah, phenomenal. The coaches we're talking about it in the end, from my calculations, which is probably inaccurate, there's only been 11 players over 150 years have played 200 or more, so he goes into a very elite group, legendary status, 200 games for our club, and he's been playing so well. And hopefully today against Exeter here at home we can do right. And he was spoken about in our last couple of meetings around, if you're feeling tired, think about Will today.
And these days, of course, with the conditions turning and the days that those front rowers love. We've talked enough about players, let's talk about supporters, because rain or shine, they turn out, and you're presenting one of our members, one of our great supporters, Adrian, with a jersey today. What has your experience been with the supporters, people like Adrian, since you've been a part of the Quins setup?
Yeah, well, they've been. You often feel like wanting to belong when you come to a new place, and it's often easier when you're a head coach because the team drag you in, and there's a bit of direction. But I've been really impressed with the fans. The fans have been amazing to me, and there seems to be so much goodwill clearly from last year. But Adrian Brown is one of those guys again who has been so welcoming for me in my role, and it makes it's a real pleasure when you meet fans. And it just shows you what a privilege it is to be in this position that I'm in.
Well, there is a rugby match today, two teams with playoff ambitions. Harlequins currently sat third. You said earlier in the season that playoffs was the main ambition for Harlequins this season. Victory today, and it's looking all right at the halfway stage.
Yeah, and clearly this is a key battle because the last time we played them was in the final, but also if we get this, we get a little bit of breathing space on fourth place, and so all of those things matter in January, but I think we're halfway through the Premiership, so an important game today for a number of reasons.
Good luck, Tabs. Always a pleasure to hear from Tabs, and two things that we spoke about there were landmarks that have been reached by players. Firstly, let's have a chat about Tom Lauday. 50 caps in the quarters, that's no mean feat, is it?
No, and it's I suppose to him it might feel like it's gone quickly, but his performances this year and last season as well. But I've really been impressed with how he's come on, some of the offloading ability, some of the carrying. He's really slotted in nicely in this back row, which is fantastic to see. So a great milestone for him and against his former club, right?
Well, absolutely, great signing. Their loss, our gain. At times he's had to wait his turn as well, because he signed from Exeter and went straight into the starting 15. Then Alex Dombrandt arrived. Then Thomas gets called up for England. He's back in the 8 jersey, and you alluded to some of the skills and some of the talents that he's offered. Yeah,
absolutely. I think back row is all about having a decent balance, and I think he offers that flexibility, but also that carrying ability. And he strikes me. I don't know him personally, but he strikes me as a guy, who doesn't mind putting his head down, doing some of that unseen work as well, which is always great to have with that balance with guys like Chiz in there as well. I mainly support and have a lot of time for members of the ball community, as we already spoke about, and having him and Chiz involved, as well as Simo, but he needs to ditch the scrum out really to be a proper member of the ball community. But it's great to see. It's great to see more bald men representing the quarters,
And Lauday keeps it in great condition as well. He reached his 50th against Gloucester last week. He starts in the 6th jersey today, and we caught up with him between the two matches.
Yeah, it's been great. It's come around a lot quicker than I'd imagined, to be honest. It's kind of, time flies when you're having fun, I guess. Yeah, it was great. It was great to get 50 up and hopefully get a few more in the weeks and years to come. The top kind of 6, there's not much to separate anyone really, isn't there? And yeah, we know kind of every game counts. So I know that we've had Champions Cup recently as well, but to string, I think that's 4 victories on the bounce is really good. We're kind of gathering a bit of momentum. Our confidence is high, so yeah, it's good. We're in a good place. For us, it's just about kind of concentrating on what we do. We haven't thought too much about them. We know that this is the first time that we're going to play them since the final. We know that there's that kind of emotion there for them. They're going to want to get their own back. They're going to come down to us and try to put their game on us and dictate the game. As I said, we're going to focus on us, do what we do best. Hopefully, well, it is a packed out Stoop, so we'll be getting cheered on by everyone, which is great. And yeah, we'll just go out there, play some rugby, entertain, and as I said before, hopefully get the W. We know that everyone raises their game to when they play against the champions. That's just how it is. It's just how it's going to be. We know that there isn't an easy game in the Premiership anymore. We've just had to be mentally and physically prepared every single week, and so far we've been doing that pretty much on not on every occasion, but we're in third. We're doing well. We're travelling pretty well and playing some good rugby. So we've just kind of got to continue that, continue growing as a group, continue kind of building the culture that we've got here, which has been brilliant. And hopefully we can kind of do something special again this year.
Tom Lauday then, 50 appearances and many more to come. He's had a great reception from the supporters this year. Let's talk about the supporters then, because you played 200 and odd times for this club. You've been sort of in and out of rugby since then. I've been here a lot more recently and the support's been incredible. What are your sort of memories and the impression of the supporters here at the Stoop?
I think it's a place that loves running rugby, and I really think that's special. I was speaking to someone about this the other day. I said, Quins is probably the one place where you could win and play a horrible rugby and the fans would really be quite upset and disappointed. But I think what's amazing about that as well is, when someone will do something on the pitch that's amazing, or at the moment people like Mark Smith doing stuff like that, but when I was playing it'd be guys like DC or Nick Evans would do it, and I'd be on the pitch going, wow, that's pretty impressive. But the crowd love it as well, and everyone gets behind you, and when you get that that roll on, there's no better place.
I see you with your hands on your hips there saying, wow, that was amazing. I can't imagine that was
honestly it was. I was about 4 phases back usually going, I don't know how you did that. let's walk back to the halfway line and get ready for a restart. So honestly, I've got several amazing memories there where you just be on the pitch and someone would do something where you just like, well, I'd never be able to do that. That's pretty incredible, and get ready back for the restart. And some of my best memories, and sharing it with the crowd at the Stoop. So it doesn't get much better. To
be fair, I can't imagine Danny Kerr or Nev involved in a rolling maul either. I'm just looking over my shoulders, and I don't want to curse it, but it's looking like the rain is easing up. So hopefully we'll see some of that running rugby today. But before we continue our conversation, we had a chat with Adrian Brown earlier. He is a great supporter of Harlequins, and he won a pretty fantastic prize. Harlequins have got some incredible supporters. They travel across the country, they come here to the Stoop, come rain or shine. At this time of the year, more rain than shine, but they get involved away from the rugby as well, and one of the men who's done that is Adrian. Welcome.
Hi. Great
to have you here. Firstly, what is that on your lap?
So this is a shirt, a signed shirt by the players, which I won using the one of the raffles on the Quins rewards points.
So Harlequins members are able to get points. In fact, if you keep your eye on the show a little bit later on, there'll be the opportunity for you to get some rewards points today. You can trade those in for all kinds of things, and one of them is a prize draw. That's pretty cool, because you've just met Tabai as well, haven't you?
Yeah, so Tabs was the one who presented it to me, so which was quite nice to meet him. He's a lovely guy.
He is a good guy, isn't he? Yeah. And he seems to be doing a good job. Would you like to talk about the rugby first, or being a supporter first?
Let's go for the rugby first, shall we?
How do you think it's going this season?
Pretty well. One or two dodgy moments, but on the whole, we are where we are and we're doing really well. So.
But you've been a Quins supporter since what, the 90s?
Yeah, started in around about 90, 91, yeah.
So you've seen quite a few dodgy moments. I mean, on balance of things, it's pretty good right now, isn't it?
Oh, it's brilliant, yeah. I mean, where we were last season, winning the league, and then, I think we're in third at the moment still this season, so, and we've got some fantastic players, so.
Fingers crossed for playoffs.
Yeah.
Let's go into the recent past then. 10,000 supporters were at Twickenham for the final, 5,000 Quins supporters, and you were one of them, but in quite an unorthodox situation, weren't you?
Yeah, so I work as an honorary steward over at Twickenham, so I get to work the seating bowl.
I'm going to look after that, that's going in a frame.
Yeah, so I get to work the seating bowl, welcome the supporters in, let them know where they're sitting and get to watch the game for free. So
how much of the final did you get to watch?
Oh, you get to watch a good 80-90% of it. Yeah, it's so you're working while people are coming in. You're keeping an eye on the crowd during the game, but you get to watch quite a lot of it. So.
And of course, you were in your honorary steward's uniform, but were you celebrating Quins points?
You have to try and stay a little bit neutral when you're stewarding, but yeah, you do have that cheeky little punch to the air,
You're allowed, he's allowed. Let's talk about some of your favourite memories as a Harlequin supporter then.
I guess some of the more recent ones, obviously the semi-final, which unfortunately I didn't get to go to, but that is fantastic. But I think just a little bit further back, the Stade Francais game here. We'll never forget about that. It's one of those ones which I regularly will watch on YouTube, you know, those 29 phases or whatever they are.
We're very lucky, aren't we? It's a great club to support.
Yeah.
With regards to this then, you've won this jersey. Are you going to continue to enter? Are you going to continue with your Quins Rewards points?
Yeah, so every time you turn up to the game you get more rewards points, and there's various things you can buy on there with them, and prize draws and auctions in the past, so yeah, well worth doing.
He's done all the advertising for me. Adrian, enjoy the game today, enjoy the rest of the season. It's great to have you here, and congratulations on that. We're so pleased that you're making the best of being a supporter. You can too, whether you come to the ground or you don't. Make sure you enter your Quins Reward points as a member, and like Adrian, you could win a signed jersey or much, much more. I hope we stay dry today.
Thanks.
I can't bring you here and not talk about 2012. You were a Premiership champion. I spoke to...
That's how you got me here though, right? You said, George, come over, you can talk about the glory days, how amazing everything was. So obviously, can't wait.
I mean, when we haven't been talking about it, you've been checking your watch, thinking TikTok, let's get to the good stuff. So let's get to the good stuff. That was a remarkable year. There's a gentleman behind you who was very much after a pint. We'll have one after the game, but let's talk about that Premiership.
He was still celebrating 2012, obviously. He's run out
Hey,
there.
we all are.
You know, unbelievable. No, I mean, no, it was fantastic, and lots of great memories. But I think, you know, one of the funniest things about it was how hot it was. It was unbelievably hot.
You go through that.
Much, not quite like today, but it was great running rugby conditions, and I just remember being exhausted on the pitch. But what's great about it as well is to see the guys do it more recently last season, right? And genuinely, and the way that they did it, because it's you know, that's one thing that was great back in 2012 was we played good rugby, moved the ball around, and the guys, you know, more recently they're really doing the same, taking it on another level. So that's really pleasing to see.
What about those boys that were involved last year, who were involved when you were? So the front row, Marler, Gray, Collier, Danny Kerr still doing it, of course, Mike Brown missing out but played a key part in the season. 10 years on, it's quite remarkable, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nuts, and I think if you look at the contribution of those guys, I think they're you know, the fact that they've been there already and sharing that confidence with the other guys, and I think that would have been really, really valuable. And you know, I remember when we were going into 2012, I remember one of the senior guys, I can't remember who it was that said it, but they were like, look, if you look at Leicester, they've actually lost shed loads of finals. And if you looked at the stats, it was true. They'd been in a lot of finals, they'd been very successful. We actually looked at their win rate, wasn't that impressive. And I'm sure guys would have been able to join the dots again looking at Exeter last year, right? Similar story, they'd played in a lot of finals but hadn't been that successful. So that whole sort of no fear mindset, I'm sure would have been passed on from the guys like, you know, the guys you mentioned, Joe Marler, Joe Gray, DC and Geordie as well, Jordan Turner-Hall. Heavily involved in the coaching staff with the younger players. I'm sure that would have had a huge impact.
Now, the rugby world is always talking about Joe Marler. Joe Gray, one of the most underrated hookers in the game. He has won everything there is to win, and I'm looking forward to seeing him back out in the blue scrum cap and the quarters.
With the crash helmet on.
Yes,
absolutely.
But today, for me, is all about Will Collier. In fact, it was Grazer and Will who made the hit where Exeter coughed the ball up that ultimately won Quins the game. But 200 appearances, you played a lot of games behind Will Collier, and he's...
No, I was never behind Collier. That's too much like hard work. He's on the right hand side. I was always behind Marler, which, you know, to the uninformed, if you've got Ollie Cohn, you stick him behind Will Collier. So I never wanted to be too close to Collier in the scrum, to be honest with you.
You had the armchair right behind Marler.
Exactly. So there was Ollie Cohn was the armchair on the right side, and I was the deck chair on the left hand side. So Will Collier would have refused to have me behind him. He'd have gone, no, that's not happening. But yeah, anyway, sorry.
Let's talk about him as an individual. Then he's someone you know very well, someone you played alongside.
Yeah.
He seems to be playing as well as he's ever played right now, and 200 performances.
It's been incredible to watch. You know, I think it was a couple of weeks ago or last week. One of the games I was watching. It's so pleasing to see him really, you know, coming to that level of sort of maturation, a bit like a good Highland you know, grass-fed cow. You know, and I know he likes his beef and that side of the quality of beef, and obviously you need to get to the right age before it's just right. And watching him play now, you know, when he joined Quins, incredibly athletic, incredibly quick. You know, could spin past the ball off both hands 20 metres, which he can still do, and he showed a nice dummy recently. But seeing him really push on in the scrum and the tight stuff is really fantastic. And as we were saying earlier on, what a set of eyes he's got on him.
Oh, he's beautiful.
The best pair of eyes in.
I have been banging the drum. Everybody who watches this show regularly will know that I will die on the hill that he's the best looking prop forward in world rugby.
Yeah, you and Rex Goldsmith is a fishmonger, Chelsea fishmonger. I think will invest heavily in his goods. Both got a fondness for Will Collier's eyes, which is quite remarkable.
Yeah, Rex is fishmonger and Rob Buchanan's butchers both do very well.
Absolutely, yeah, he's keeping them in business.
He had another great game at the Coalface over the road at the big game. Let's chat about that, because you were involved in 7.
I think it was just the seven.
Hell of an occasion.
Just the 7. It was the same old big game faces, and it's great to see. It's great to see DC, carrying on that tradition. The talisman.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, isn't it? How do they differ from a home game here at the Stoop?
Well, I mean, I think what's amazing about that whole show, I suppose you could say, is that it is an opportunity for Harlequins to kind of demonstrate it's the premier club in London, right? Other people have done similar things, but everyone knows it's happening that time of year, and as a player, it's your opportunity to really play a game in front of 82,000 people. You don't always get those opportunities with everyone in the squad necessarily, and it's a really special occasion. So what was great for this year's big game is, again, the ones I played in, to be completely transparent and honest with you, wasn't always a great spectacle. There were some really horrific big games that I played in that would have been pretty boring. But this year's big game, what a show.
That was unbelievable.
What a show. It's nuts, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely incredible to be a part of. I am looking forward to watching the game with you today. There'll be plenty more chat about the big game. Of course, the men and women both got victories. Both Harlequins teams looking for another spot in the playoffs. I'm just going to quickly go and check to make sure that fella in the Barber jacket got his pint on time. But a bit of, I had a chat to Emma Swords. Harlequins are the double champions of England. The Premiership and the Premier 15s trophy are locked in the trophy cabinet. It wouldn't be a Harlequins Live without catching up with one of the very best. Emma Swords, how are you?
Thank you for that intro. I'll take that.
I will keep paying the compliments whilst you guys keep winning. But you have got a surprise weekend off.
We do,
A COVID cancellation.
Yeah, that's got us.
Is that frustrating? Is it the chance to put the feet up? How do you deal with those kind of setbacks?
I think it is a bit of frustration, because I think, as it was highlighted a lot, we were having a bit of a slow start to the season. We were winning, we were dipping, and there wasn't that much consistency, but we've had a really good run against some really good teams. And Worcester would have been another good challenge. They're doing so well this year as well. So I think Jared Marlowe must have serious, but we've really started to build momentum. That's what we need to keep, especially when we've got the game changer coming up and so on. So we were in the wind, rain and mud this morning, so it wasn't really feet up, but now Jolly Hogs or something out the back, that's our feet up, I reckon.
Oh, that's not bad.
Watch the game, yeah.
Let's talk about Saracens first. Your old employers going to the StoneX and making an impression like that, a statement like that, a victory live on BBC, a bonus point win against the team that Harlequins beat in the final. That is a good sign of progress being made this season.
Yeah, I think you can always count that game is emotional. We had girls who were really emotionally invested in that game, and I think we had a big focus on energy build up to that game. And
more on that from Emma Swords later, because the fireworks have started. The flames are reaching up above the Charles Stanley stand. Will Collier has led the team out with his youngster in his arms ahead of his 200th appearance. Harlequins are in the quarters. Exeter Chiefs are in the white jerseys. Thankfully they've turned those flames on because it's pretty cold up here, George. Warm welcome to you wherever you're watching around the world. It's a shame you couldn't join us at the ground today, but it is people watching rugby. Something I didn't mention earlier is that people are going to be asking you questions throughout the game. So
yeah, that's fine. I've been fully briefed by my wife. That's what I'm allowed to say.
What's your specialist subject?
Well, it depends.
Oh, all right. Well, more on that later. Remember, get in the last try scorer in the chat function on Facebook or YouTube. You could win this match-worn Archie white jersey. You need to tell us the last try scorer. Did you go for Will Collier?
Well, yeah, I did, because I went on the premise, it was pretty rainy earlier on.
Oh yeah.
And I went on the premise that the last try might be scored in the opening 5 minutes. But here we go. It's looking good.
Marcus Smith to get us underway. Quins attacking the north stand. Is that right? I always get my geography wrong here. Essentially the one closest to us. We're right on the try line. That is the north stand, isn't it?
That is, I have no idea, mate, to be honest with you.
You played 203 games for this club. You need to know these kinds of things. Right, box kick has gone up. Quins underneath it. Possession on the halfway line. Need to be careful this doesn't turn into a radio commentary because the game is on BBC. BT Sport. That'll get me in trouble.
Yeah. One of the things... Oh, look at that lovely little kick.
Little dinker, and they bumped into each other.
It's always good when your 10 puts in a little exploratory kick earlier on.
Oh, is that something you like?
Yeah, and they do it for a number of reasons. I think one of the reasons you do that is just to keep the defence honest with the line speed.
Yeah.
Because if you're worried about someone putting a kick in, you might be less concerned with getting off the line to smash you. So that might be a ploy from Quins, Marcus Smith early on, just to check the line speed of Chiefs in an area of the pitch where there's not too much risk for Quins.
And they do like to smash you, do Exeter Chiefs?
Yeah, absolutely.
Something we've not spoken about yet, and something that many Harlequins fans will have put to the back of their memory as that goes out on the full, is the fact that first game of the season, Exeter Chiefs came here and did what could loosely be described as a job on Harlequins last year. Sam Simmons did all right.
Yeah,
he's quite good at rugby.
Yes, absolutely.
But our first look here at the line-out, and Jack Walker, ball in hand, he's really impressed me.
Yeah, he's been brilliant. I think he's one of those guys that you know, I've been watching the last few games in particular. He's got an incredible great work ethic, and he's doing a great job.
Well, Joe Marchant in off the wing, gets tackled. He's proven to be very versatile as well as Marchant, as Andre takes his first carry and gets away.
How good is that? How good is that Andre bloke?
Ridiculous, yeah.
Oh, they've obviously found him a good red meat supply because he's always angry when he plays.
Penalty Quins.
He's got to be one of the best signings Quins have ever made in the last couple of years.
That's a big shout from you.
In the last couple of years, he's got to be the best signing by a mile.
I mean, you played with some pretty good inside centres, some pretty good centres in your time at Quins. You talked about your mate Jordan earlier, but
yeah, academy product though, didn't get signed. but you know, if Geordie had been signed, then that would have been sacrilege what I just said. But no, I mean, I think the South African contingent we've got right now, they bring a really nice edge to the squad.
Yeah,
you know, as I said, he looks like he's got something, I don't know, he's got some kind of anger in him in the way he carries. Bloody hell.
And I think,
apologies for the PG-13 language, everybody on Facebook.
It's alright, it's past the watershed somewhere.
We'll be taken down, that'll be it.
Quins line out 15 metres from the Chiefs line. First visit to the 22. Kenningham gets picked out. He is turning into a good line out option, and here comes the drive.
Pretty good set.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what we're going to do with this now. Here it comes.
DC. Oh, numbers here.
Try. It's got to be a try, surely.
Oh, Marchant with some work to do.
It's got to be a try.
Oh, lovely feet from Marchant. Didn't quite go to ground. It's been ripped as well. Northwood could score. Northwood could score. Oh, this would be brilliant. It might have gone forward. They're going to have a check, but Quins could have got over early. Oh, it's been given.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go. You can and look at the fireworks. Hey, I don't know. Have we got a good sort of supplier on discount fireworks? I've never seen so many fireworks in all my life. That's unbelievable.
If the 6th try goes over and there's still fireworks.
Good luck kicking this over in a multicoloured flared haze. Do you think someone just got excited and pressed the button?
It looks like somebody's lost at sea and they've let all the flares off.
Mate, what are you going to do here if you're Marcus Smith? Give him some night vision goggles so he can see the post.
Let's talk about the try though, and this will be a nightmare for Chiefs because it's not quite, but it's very similar vibes to the one Lewis Liner scored in the final, where the ball went to ground, it was a little bit scrappy. Hogg did really well to rip the ball from Marchant, but Luke Northmore, aka Cristiano Ronaldo.
Mate, and what can you say, right? They're almost hoisted by their own petard there with the rip, and pretty exceptional opportunism, and reactions won the day.
Hoisted by their own petard is the kind of lexicon you get when you bring in Quinn's legends. Great to have you here, George.
That's it.
Quinn's 5, Chiefs 0. Here comes the conversion. Quinn's 7, Chiefs 0.
He's obviously been practicing in sort of, I don't know, war-torn areas of the world with the smoke. I don't know.
Did you ever do any goal kicking?
Yeah, when I was about 12.
Okay.
Used to get the old cone at school and have a crack.
You weren't the John Eales goal kicking lock forward then, were you?
Not quite.
First restart gathered. Dream start. We're not used to those here at the Stoop.
And the rain stopped, right? It's dried up. Don't worry, I'll do a rain dance at half time.
Great to see Lukey Northmore in the starting 15. Even better to see him over the try line. DC with a box kick. We've got a question for you.
Brilliant.
Can someone ask George Robson, I guess that's my job, what happened in the tunnel versus Toulon, please?
Well, it's a very interesting question. I suppose you'd have to specify time, date, and it's not a very well educated question. Who asked it?
James Johnston.
Oh, that explains a lot. Yeah, well, I fell on my arse actually, as it happens. Now it's all starting to make sense. I wonder if there's going to be some kind of coordinated attack here. I can feel it brewing.
Maybe. Interestingly, Chiefs have just gone to... Oh, what a shot. The offload was gone, but Chiefs went to Kirsten there. So both teams go into their open side flanker for their first line out. What are your thoughts on using back rowers as jumpers?
I think it's brilliant. I think if you've got some big lumpers in the second row, it's great to have your back row options as well. I was always blessed to have the amazing athletic capacities of Ollie Cohn in the second row. The Salmon, I think we used to call him. And then Will Skinner, again, another great line-out option for me, at about 5'2" tall. So it was never a challenge to win line-out ball when I was playing.
Well, what Quins have got with Jack Kenningham is somebody who's still finding his feet. Well, not in terms of the physicality, because he's dealing with it very well, but he's probably not as heavy as he will be in a couple of years.
Yeah, he gets up very, very quickly, and he's great over the ball as well, right? You can see that in the games that I've been watching this season. It's great threat over the ball.
But we've seen Will Collier lifting him as a one-man lift as well.
Yeah, which is absolutely brilliant.
All that red meat and fish that we were talking about, isn't it?
Well, exactly.
Who's underneath this? Tyrone Green. Oh no, it's been spilled forward. Oh, and again.
Get it down here. There we are. Lovely little kick threaded in there from Marcus.
But then finds Stuart Hogg, who kicks in field. Thought he might look for a 50-22 there. Tyrone underneath it. Good chase from Hoggy. Great take. Two of the best 15s in the league today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Two brilliant players.
Another great South African that's come over and provided a brilliant platform at the back there. Oh, this is looking nice. Great ball out from Marla. Get a bit of width on the game. Here we go. Let's have a crack. Oh!
Has that gone forward? No. Tom Brandt.
Never when Quinn's got the ball, mate. It's an illusion.
Penalty advantage on the halfway line.
Now that is the line.
Jack Kenningham. Collier wanted it. If you want to finish from the 22 metres, who'd you go to? Will Collier.
Try.
It's gone forward. It's gone forward. That's a shame. Danny Kerr on the line. So you were just pumping up Kenningham's tyres for the work over the ball. What about that line?
Well, it reminds me of a young George Robson in his prime, if anything. Against Gloucester, I think, 2007, just before the financial markets crashed after that try. But yeah, I mean, amazing line.
taken in one hand.
I mean, all he's missing is to finish it. But, I mean, what a
skips away from the tackle as well.
Yeah, great athleticism.
Now, this is fun because it's the first look at the scrum. People have been telling me all week about Quinn's great scrum, and it is great, and how, you know, Chiefs are missing various players, but they've got a good set scrum no matter who's on the pitch for them.
Yeah, a wise man once told me that their tight head weighs in at 136 kilograms.
And that was before Christmas.
He's a big old junior. In fact, on the subject of that, right, okay, full disclosure, right, you told me that.
I did.
You told me that stat, everybody who's listening to this. I didn't pick it out of thin air. But just so you know, when you go on BT Sport, that's what happens, right?
Yeah.
There's the pre-chats. Oh, what do you think? And then people nick each other's material.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd know that better than I would. But I didn't know that when I first went on and did a bit of punditry. So
I'm
I thought I'd do
happy
it
to
to you live.
share and share alike.
Yeah.
We've got more questions here. Can George tell us about lots of pictures being stuck around the training ground?
This is a coordinated takedown attack. This is like a cyber attack.
Great to hear from you, Grazer.
Oh, it's like Joe Gray's got it's like someone's got some poorly educated, low-paid drones on the case on Facebook here to try and troll us. I think it's Putin.
Anyway,
so Joe Gray, there's a theme developing here. So he printed out pictures of me falling on my arse at Toulon in the changing room, and I went round very angry about it and tried to tear them all down.
Oh, did you?
But he put them like everywhere, literally everywhere. You think you got them all down and it'd be inside the toilet, so then you'd shut the toilet. You just have a bit of time to yourself to recover from what I suppose would now be termed bullying, but back then it hadn't been invented yet.
Oh, great. This is brilliant.
It was top quality banter from Grazer.
Keep your questions coming in. Is that a high tackle there on Tyrone? No, says the referee. So we're in midfield. I got a bone to pick with Grazer actually, but I'm not going to do it live. I'll tell you what it is at half time, and you can decide whether or not I call him out on it. But right,
that's
Chiefs
unfortunate.
No,
he saw it. He saw some shenanigans going on.
A little knock on, I think.
No, I think is that Rob? Is that who I think it is in the middle there? Oh, it's Ian Tempest, not Rob Devlin.
No.
I was trying to think he might have been the only referee I ever heard Nick Easter call see you next.
Oh, really?
Different person though.
Did he really?
Oh yeah, Bath got a red card.
Okay.
He's always famous for his control of his emotions, Nick Easter. Now in coaching, perfect. I'm sure he doesn't swear there either.
Scrum down. Harlequins put in right on the halfway line, bang in the centre of the pitch. What are we on here? 11 minutes gone on the clock. Oh, I thought that was sunshine behind us. It is not. It is just the studio lights.
And again, you can see the difference in our levels of professionalism here with the punditry.
Oh yeah,
it's all up top. See, I'm looking at this sheet of paper, right, without realising it's all been filmed. So I'm sort of having to frantically scour. Cameras catching everything.
Right then, Quinn's put in it comes, little shove, and it comes
good scrum.
Oh yeah. Oh, Danny Kerr's been squared off by the old man in the middle. He's going to be turned over as well, is he? No. He got away with that. Yes.
I don't know how that. I mean, that's a great outcome from what was not a great initial set play, where it was a wraparound play where Danny Kerr found himself on a hard line up against Ian Whitten inside centre for Exeter Chiefs. Probably not how they modelled that one in the training ground, is it? I don't.
It's a good read by Whitten, to be fair.
I think Whitten didn't do what whoever was doing that move in training.
Obviously this is a Harlequins show and we are very pro Harlequins.
Yeah.
Terrible attempt at catching in the crowd. I can't be abiding with this swatting it back in.
That's despicable behaviour.
But Noah Brown, we'll come to that question in a minute. Ian Whitten for Exeter Chiefs, top pro, lot of time for him. But we've got another question. Noah Brown, thank you for your question. Favourite moment of your career, please?
I think it probably would have been 2 nights out, one after the Prem final, but probably one that was one after Cavalieri Prato away.
Oh yeah,
and another. Look at this rolling maul.
Yes,
look at that
to ground. Oh,
they cannot have done that legally.
Oh, they have.
Oh, brilliant. I mean, in France, all I'm saying is that'd have been a yellow card and a kick to the corner again. But over here, pretty technically proficient. it was going forward at a rate of knots. I'm surprised that Exeter have got the scrum there.
Yeah, Johnny Hill's got his hands on it though, isn't he? And I think Chiefs were pretty happy.
Just got that Test pedigree, hasn't he? Puts his mitts over it, pulls it over, and
he's a big old boy, isn't he? Crikey.
Well, we were saying before the game, right? You were saying, right? Yeah. People have said this isn't a full-strength Exeter Chiefs side. I mean, you look at this pack. You've got test locks, back row's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
You know, and again, you're tight at 136 kegs, so it's no mean feat going to be.
And you're talking about they haven't got Luke Cowan-Dickey, but then Jackie Ingdall comes in and captains the team. It's
and interestingly, he ran out chewing gum, which I thought was pretty good. Big advocate of chewing gum as an athlete. Yeah.
All right.
Some people don't like it.
That's gone down. It's going to have
That's
to be.
got to be a pen, isn't it? Ooh, no,
Now reset.
Now, the first scrum, Quins were pretty dominant.
Yeah.
Went forward. Now, and that was a good maul from Quins, which again was adjudged to be brought down legally. It's going to be interesting to see how this scrum battle progresses, given the weights of the packs.
Yeah. Best game for Harlequins, Denise Lesniak. We've had so many questions. Thanks for sending them in. This is Ask the Experts in association with Charles Stanley.
Right, brilliant. In terms of best game, I don't know. I think. I always used to love playing up at Leicester Tigers.
Okay.
Because you basically went out and you'd have to go right. I'm gonna have to give it everything here, or I'll get a hiding. So you had to really go hard. So I used to bring the best out of me. I used to love it.
Oh, good tackle by Tom Lorday. Sorry, I got a bit excited there because Danny went inside Sam Simmons. You don't want him getting up ahead of Steve.
No.
And you'd have played in that era where Tigers, particularly their pack, were incredibly, let's say, proficient.
Yes. And it's great to see them this year doing really well as well, right?
Yeah.
Borthwick's doing an incredible job up there.
Tyrone has just been ironed out. Big Dave Ewers. Go on then.
He's emptied out his change there. I can see a bit of it on the 10 metre line.
Crikey. Right, Quinn's in possession then. Here's Andre looking for the pass. Oh, that looked a bit high on Lukey Northmore.
Going to get some quick ball though, you'd hope.
Yeah.
It's just, what can you do with it?
Leicester Tigers, pretty amazing place to play. And as a Welshman, I don't like saying this, but usually strong Tigers means strong England as well, doesn't it?
Doesn't it just? And doesn't it? I think it's great for the league.
Yeah.
It's brilliant seeing Tigers, Quins, all these top clubs going at it. Saracens again, sadly.
That's a good kick.
Credit to them, they're doing really well.
Yeah.
That's lingering in all the wrong ways for Quins. Beautiful pass there from Green back to Smith, and we'll have a line out on the halfway, do you reckon?
Not quite, but either way, good clearance. We have a Gloucester Hartpury women's team coming up. They were in fact ahead against Bristol Bears in the Premier 15s earlier. I think Bristol Bears have come back since, but Gloucester Hartpury doing very well indeed. We will be live streaming some of the Harlequins games that aren't going to be broadcast on BT Sport or the RFU, so join us for that as Chiefs go long, looking for something training groundy, and it's looking pretty tasty as well, but goes to ground.
So just anyone who isn't actually watching the game with the pictures, throwing that ball over the top, over the whole of the line out to the centre. It's a great play, and there's been a lot of it this season. We used to do a little bit, and again, it keeps everybody honest. Yeah. Again, it's a great way of getting your centre into the game quickly. Got an injury. Is this who's that down there?
It's a long way away, but it's one of the Blonde Brigade. Is that?
Looks like Walker. Is it Walker?
There's a few of them. I mean.
My favourite player who looks like the normal bloke you can't put your finger on. And as we were saying earlier on, his nuts and bolts have been brilliant. Doing brilliant.
Certain players just suit certain teams, don't they? And he suits Harlequins.
Well, and he suits this composition of that front row, right? He's got a good size to him. He works hard. There are enough players around him to pick up the carrying duties and everything else. And it is a bit of a mixture that you need, and I think he's slotted in brilliantly. He really has.
Yes, and he'll continue to improve as well. Another scrum over in front of the Charles Stanley stand, so direct opposite to us. Keep your questions coming in, asking the experts with Charles Stanley. We've got Premiership winner George Robson alongside us. So thanks for doing this, by the way. Great to have you here.
You know what? I'd love to ask Charles Stanley about some of their expert advice as well. Oh yeah. Look at this going forward.
Go on then. It's going to have to be something for Quins.
It's a great dominant scrum there.
Yes, there's the advantage. Let's have a go then. Oh, very, very close. I'd like to get your opinion on penalty advantage at some point as well.
Just if it's a scrum penalty and you're a 9, just drop the ball forward now and we'll kick it in the corner.
Well, because I was watching the
as a player,
yeah,
not as a coach.
But I was, you know, watch a fair bit of rugby, and I was watching Quins Gloucester last week. I couldn't make it down there, but I become increasingly aware that advantages just go on forever until you score or make a mistake. I'd be an advocate of adding a little bit of jeopardy, because it's like you can't lose the penalty advantage.
Yes.
But I don't know how you feel about that. Basically, I've asked you that question so I can tell you my opinion.
Mate, I've got a lot of time for that. A lot of time.
So, but where do you stand with that?
No, I think it's an interesting idea. I thought I'd hate the whole goal line dropout thing.
Yeah.
I thought I'd hate it. I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's brilliant.
Yeah.
I think it's been a really positive step. And one of the teams, the team it's negatively impacted the most, debatably, probably Exeter, right?
Yeah, yeah. And also the 50-22. I thought I'd hate it, but I love it.
It's brilliant.
Quins with another line out in the Chiefs 22. It's 7-0, 20 minutes in. Chiefs haven't really got going yet, so if Harlequins could get a few more points on the board while they're in the ascendancy, I think that'd be a good start. Now Lorde out the back. Oh, Danny Kerr trying to throw a dummy. Could have done with a second man running a line on in there, couldn't we? That's big Simo losing a collision for a change. Doesn't happen very often.
This is slow ball now.
Yeah.
Now, how do we generate a bit of momentum? Let's have a look.
Collier in, yeah. Oh, one of you. Oh, that'll do.
I don't think we're going to. We're going to have to move it around here now, I think. Or
so
stick it in behind.
So you've got Andre on tiptoes, keeping everyone honest, sending Don Branting. Christ, Dave Ewers has put a big shot on him.
This isn't looking
great. A bit scrappy, isn't it?
No, let's see.
Still on the 22 though, and that's better, quicker ball, pick and go. And this is Exeter's bread and butter defensively, though, isn't it? They live for these moments, dogging it out. They looked a little bit offside there.
Here comes the kick.
It's a good one as well. Get a bounce.
Lovely nudge.
Oh, knock on.
He's knocked it on. We've got a scrum on the 5 metre line.
And Marchant has gone straight into a camera stand as well. That was one of those ones that if it gets a bounce, you're looking at try of the month. That was put on a sixpence by Marcus.
Beautiful kick.
Yeah.
And that's one of those stats, right, that I think everyone, a year or so ago, people got their hands on. When you're in the opposing 22, offensive kicks lead to the most tries.
Okay.
And now, again, you can see that now. Not necessarily in this instance, but because you haven't got the same cover in the backfield, because everyone's in the fullback's tracking, but you haven't got the same coverage. So offensive kicks are a great route out of there. But I think at this stage, I think Quins had run out of options and they didn't have the gain line. But a beautifully weighted kick from Marcus to get it into this corner here. I
think the key now is don't make it easy for Exeter Chiefs to exit.
Yeah, so you say no pens.
Yeah.
You say big scrum, but let's not get carried away. Let's not over chase things. And then all things being equal, you've got another great attacking set back in the game. But if you can put them under real pressure, this is the place to do it.
Yep.
It's a fine balance, right?
That it is. 20 minutes gone. Harlequin 7, Exeter Chiefs 0. Chiefs defending resolutely. Quins enjoying a good period of territory. I think it's been interesting watching Quins. Let's use the last 2 matches, for example. Against Northampton Saints, deadly in the red zone. Against Gloucester, it was painful to watch at times.
Yes. Now here we go. This is Fortress Stoop getting behind the mighty Quins. Here we go.
Oops. Simmons goes now. It's a good shot. But they do well to clear out Kenningham. It's slow ball though. No pens is the key.
You know what? I can't wait to get my son down here and just go watch that number 12 son. Have a look at him.
How old's your boy?
He's 4.
Is he?
He doesn't need any encouragement actually. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Is he? Has he started school then?
No, but he started chop tackling.
Oh, well done. Oh, advantage to Quins here for the knock on. It was fumbled by Marchant. That's 2 fortuitous fumbles for Joe Marchant. 1 not so fortuitous fumble over the line.
Now this is not looking great. for Quins.
In which case we've got to go back for the knock-on, yeah.
Which goes back to your thesis of the advantage conundrum. We need to write a paper on that, don't we?
Hey, you're the academic here.
We need to do some kind of the advantage hypothesis.
Yes.
I think we should knock something up, because I think it's there's something in what you're saying.
Yeah.
Having a clock would be good, wouldn't it?
Oh, do you think like a shot clock in basketball or wheelchair rugby? That's interesting.
Yeah, because I mean, I know that it's highly contextual, and rugby has laws. As a journalist, you might have written a fellow countryman of yours has written a book about that.
He has. Paul Williams.
Yeah. So it's all about the interpretation of the laws, but maybe an advantage clock would be pretty good, right?
I've never met Paul, but I like him on social media very, very much.
He's worth a follow, isn't he?
Yeah,
this is
definitely.
looking good.
So Northmore steps one way, then the other, takes it to ground, and Marcus Smith's the first one there. So
great counter up from Chiefs to turn that over.
Yeah. That's the problem when you go wide early. The big lads don't get there, but Chiefs need to exit. Chop tackle from Kenningham. He's the first there, as he so often is.
Again, reminds me of the young George Robson in his prime.
How much heavier were you as a player than you are now?
I'm about the same. It's just my body composition's dramatically changed. Moving in the direction of a pork scratching.
Right, he's not supporting his weight, so that's got to be. It's not overly dynamic from Quins at the moment, is it? I mean, we'll allow the conditions to come into play, because they're.
Yeah, I mean, rugby's a simple game, right? If you get gain line and you get go forward, everything stems from that, and they haven't managed to engineer that in the right areas of the pitch. And the game is being played a bit of a territory battle between these 10 metres, this no man's land, if you will, and no one's really getting dominance.
Well, this is a chance for Chiefs to fire a shot now.
There's some holes here in this D.
Oh. Yeah, they looked it, but they went for the. It's a great chop tackle.
He's looking a little bit stretched in D here. Again, that speed of ball. Oh, lovely knock on.
Yeah.
Turnover.
And turned over again. He's offside. Is he going to reverse that to a penalty? Has to be offside.
It's not quite champagne rugby there, is it?
No.
Knock on onto knock on. We could have had our knock on advantage clock on there.
Oh yeah.
You know what? I quite like the idea. Well, the advantage clock.
The thing with knock on advantage, it seems to it's like a puff of smoke. It's like one of those fireworks that went off after Northmore scored. It just disappears, which is fair enough.
I don't know. That was at least 20 seconds. But anyway, sorry, carry on.
But penalty advantage seems to go on forever, and considering there is such a wide range of offences that you can concede a penalty from, so whether it's accidentally lingering offside to clubbing somebody round the head, it just seems as though.
What if you gave the 9 or whoever it is the ability to say, we'll take the advantage, or no?
Okay, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, and if you took the advantage, you've got a clock of 20.
Yeah.
Or a clock of 10 seconds.
Scrum penalty, thank you. I'm getting
scrum parity's going pretty. The scrum's been really good today. Will Collier just wheeling out some great scrums for his 200th.
That's your old pals in the front row, that is, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as I said to you earlier on, you'd never catch me behind tight end. I used to just be tucked neatly away behind Joe Marler.
And why not, eh?
Well, there are worse places to be in a Premiership pack.
Yeah, there certainly are. What about Marler's engine? Because he is putting in 80-minute performances.
It's phenomenal, isn't it? Especially that Prem final as well, right? I mean, what a performance to do that Prem final again. Just the ability to do that regularly is really quite impressive.
Oh, they pinched that.
Yeah, a little bit telegraphed at the back there, and Exeter side that do a lot of the homework.
Yeah,
but they've got a couple of pods up most of the time. It just wasn't quite sold enough moving forward. Another impending box kick in this sort of 10-metre line, no man's land battle.
Oh, good take by Kaden. He's another one who's been fantastic so far this year, as Marcus goes aerial this time. Not a lot on that, and Northmore will chase. Oh, Hogg takes that so well. He's a brilliant player.
It's the battle of the 10s, isn't it?
Yeah.
In terms of the metre line, that territory area of the pitch.
Oof. Oh, are they going to look at a no arms there maybe? Could there be a Harlequin in trouble?
Oh,
Oh, there is a Jack Noel on the ball looking for a 50-22 with no one at home. It's gone end over end though. Oh, where's the bounce and where's the chase?
That's a very good kick.
He is a pretty serious footballer, Jack Noel, isn't he?
Yeah, he's not easy to tackle either.
Sorry?
He's not easy to tackle either.
No.
I remember he'd have been probably about 12 years old at the Stoop when at Exeter we were playing there. I remember having to tackle him and just being like, there are a few players you go, fair play.
Yeah, he's
didn't know you were, mate, but you're pretty good. Him and Manu Tuilagi kind of fit into those buckets. Because as I told you earlier on, I used to lurk on the short side.
Yes, yeah.
Hoping that no one any good would come and run at me. And yeah, you'd get the odd shot with the youngsters.
Yeah, instead they send a 110 kg Manu Tuilagi up there.
Well, no, he wasn't. He was about 97, but he was still
big, strong boy.
Powerful, yeah. It was his brother Alisala that was more to worry about.
Goodness me.
Look at this.
Here come Exeter.
Getting some momentum in this maul, Chiefs.
Yeah, still waiting to fire a shot, Exeter, and now they might have the chance as they're tiptoeing into the Quins 22, and they've got a penalty advantage as well.
There. Yeah.
But the ball comes out. Oh, little wrap around in this space here if they get the ball there. Race for the corner flag, and good footwork. Now, Joe Marchant stopped Luke Northmore going for the turnover there.
Now, if they can slow this next couple of phases down,
but there's still the penalty advantage, remember.
No, he's not. There's something.
Yeah, there's
some shenanigans going on. We can't see because there's a light pointing right in our face.
If you can see us going back and forwards like this, it's because there's a light there. Now, big decision for Chiefs to make here, because they're outside the 22. Very kickable penalty. They've got the trusty boot of Joe Simmons, or are they going to go for the catch and drive?
And if it's you, what do you go with?
Look, I remember a time where you talked about big games as spectacles. I remember really exciting big games where teams had kicked 5, 6, 7 penalties. You know?
Yeah.
But rugby's changed.
Yeah. People go to the corner now. I've noticed that this year. People go to the corner a lot more.
Quins won a Premiership final by turning down 3-pointers.
It's interesting, isn't it?
And there was one instance just before half-time. It was just before Don Brandt scored off the inside ball from Marcus, where I was lucky enough to be in the ground and I was screaming at them. I was like, take the points! And lo and behold, they didn't. Right, first big opportunity here for Chiefs. They caught the ball. This could be problems. Catch and drive. They've got it the blind side and they've spilled it forward.
Knocked out a little short side trick play from Peel, and might have been that chewing gum on his hands.
Could have been. Bearing in mind, it's Chiefs put in. We'll have another look at this on the replay.
He's saying that it's been stripped, but then it would be a try, would it not?
Well, no, he's saying it's a Quins knock on followed by a Chiefs knock on.
Oh, okay. So
quite how he's got that from there is anybody's
Quins
guess.
Quins have got in the tackle there, I think, on the short side.
I think that is a bad decision.
Jack Walker with the arm in the tackle. That's what he's saying.
But if it hasn't gone forwards, because it hasn't, how has he come? Either way, Quins in a spot of bother here. Chiefs with the put in at the scrum, 5 metres from the touchline, 5 metres from the try line. Half an hour gone. Quins with their first defensive questions to answer. I hate these. No one on the blind side for Quins, so Tommy Lorde might have a bit of work to do if the ball goes there. Oh, has that been knocked on at the base?
Great pressure from Danny Kerr. That's brilliant pressure.
Right then, Quins, let's see some D. Oh, good clear out there from Chiefs. This is, they have written, you talked about writing papers, they have written the instruction manual on how to score from here, Exeter Chiefs. They are.
Until the rules changed, right?
Okay.
Until we got that goal line. Goal line dropout.
But their discipline going through phases, I am just continually impressed. I watch a lot of uni rugby. I do Buck Super Rugby, and it's drilled because a lot of the Exeter uni players now go on to play for Chiefs, and the uni play exactly the same. The discipline in these situations is incredible. A huge amount of credit.
They're very comfortable on the ball. That has to be said. It's just they're having to move the ball quite a lot more than they were.
Yeah.
Because when they've been attacking close to the ruck or the maul or wherever the dead point, when you're attacking close, there's a lot more risk of being held up.
Yeah.
So they're going wider now, as you can see. You know, if you're watching, or you can take it from
great pass! Still a lot of work to do
to free up the arms to get the ball down.
Chiefs really knocking on the door here. and now they're just a metre short, so picking and going. Quinn's body's there, ref taking a good look. Got the backs out there calling for it as if they think for 1 second it's going to get there.
Oh, this is agonising.
Oh, it's so sapping for everyone, isn't it?
But if they're attacking in close like they are right now, a lot harder to score.
Yeah.
More likely to be held up.
Oh, hello. Oh, advantage. The fans over there have seen something that we haven't, so now they put some width on it. Oh, Joe Simmons gets the offload away. Brilliant offload. Brilliant offload. And Chiefs score.
And we're level pegging.
Yes, I'd like to see what the advantage was given for. We've got a man just in front of us, so obviously fired up the time machine to get here from Exeter. High six is the bloke he came with. He's shrugged his shoulders at you like you haven't seen what we've just seen.
He's got a fantastic set of cauliflower ears.
He has, to be fair.
He's played, hasn't he?
He
on the
has.
front line. Bit of a controversial chant though.
Yeah.
Less said about that, the better.
Oh, that's so right. Danny Kerr's put his foot out, and we think there was a knock on there by Exeter Chiefs.
So that wasn't. See, we thought that was just an ugly pass, but
No,
it was a rip in the tackle. Again, isn't it interesting? We've had 2 rips that have caused some real drama.
Yeah. Lovely offload though from Simmons to Slade.
Yeah, credit where it's due.
Good player, Henry Slade. Frustrating to be, well, I say level, the conversions to come 6 minutes before half time. With all of the territory Quins have had, I think Chiefs will be pretty happy with how the game's gone. Certainly on the scoreboard. Oh, a bit of wind picking up.
I love Dan Kerr when he does it. The ball's been blown down, he's just run after to give some extra heat. The master of gamesmanship, Danny Kerr. He just gets worse as he gets older. He harangues people at the base. I love to see it.
But I think he's a bit unlucky there because he's put a foot out and the ball has been passed into the foot, so surely that ball's gone forward. But we are where we are. It is 7-7. Good game of rugby. 7-7, right. So what's that, 5 and a bit minutes to go before half time?
Crucial period before half time.
Yeah. Flat restart from Smith to Slade. Puts that cultured left boot. That's a lovely nudge. He really can play. Not quite as joyous off the boot of Tyrone, but goes a bit of kick tennis. What was your approach as a lock to the kick tennis?
Make sure I don't get done on an accidental offside. But we used to run everything, so it was never a problem, to be honest.
Right then, Smith goes up and under again.
Oh, he's given it for marchant tackle, is it, or an offside? If that's for the marchant tackle, he's about 15 metres off where it should be.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I think he's given it for Marchant, who was challenging for the ball, but I get it. It's fine. I mean, it's not fine because Chiefs are going to kick to the Quins 22 again.
It's fine.
But we are. Remember, keep your questions coming in. And who is going to be Harlequin's last try scorer? You've got until 65 minutes, should we say?
Look at that. Arc at that.
That
match wall material. I think you can smell the testosterone coming off that.
And it is Archie White, man of testosterone. But you can win that match-worn jersey by Archie White at half-time as well. Harlequins Academy, the under-18s were out a little bit earlier today. We've got highlights from that match. All of the games will be available to live stream. You can get down as well. They'll be at Cobham they are playing at. Can never remember all these beautiful
South Surrey locations.
These beautiful enclaves of Surrey as Chiefs get a roll on. It goes to ground. The ref had his whistle in his mouth then and he took it out again. But Chiefs ending the half.
Now who's going to get momentum going?
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it?
This is the thing. Now it'll be interesting to see the impact of any penalty now. If to give, what do they do then? Take the points, get into the sheds?
I think so. I think if any team gets a kickable penalty in the last couple of minutes, you've got to go for the sticks, haven't you?
Yeah.
And if Quins do go in behind at half time, they can consider themselves quite unlucky as Stuart Hogg gets wrapped up. Yeah, it's the academy had a really good win against London Irish.
That's always
just
good
before
to see.
Christmas. Yeah,
Always good
again,
to see.
the George Derby.
Only if it takes place in a friendly match, though.
Yes, of course. Did you? Oh, yes, Quins penalty.
Quins
Good.
penalty. We're off
Did
the hook.
you didn't play against Quins as an Irish player?
Yeah, in the pre-season.
Oh, pre-season. Okay. Did you get filled in?
Obviously, we won. Obviously, at Fortress Stoop, there can only be one winner. But yeah.
But never in a.
But I'm sure it's one of those ones where I was at Irish, never played for Irish in the Premiership in a competitive game. But it was a pre-season friendly where you've got aggressive Championship team that means the world to, and a Quins like B team. Probably not really that bothered.
Of course.
But obviously I didn't say that. But doesn't that make the hair on the back of your neck stand up, mate? The mighty Quinn.
I love it.
Ringing around the stadium.
I love it. Right then, last chance to fire a shot before half time.
Oh, that didn't work.
No.
I reckon it was the singing it put everyone off.
Yeah, maybe. Everyone just getting all doughy-eyed. So now, maybe Chiefs will have an opportunity. Oh, good chase by Smithy on his opposite number. Chiefs still inside their own half. Approaching the final minute. I wonder if they'll just be happy to run the clock down here and get into the shed. So, no, because they've found a little bit of space. And Jack Knoll puts boot to ball. Tyrone's got some chasing to do. Does well, too. Oh, goodness me. Quinn's offloading in their own 22. Oh, talk to me about the Harlequins way. I'm going to need some kind of medication if I'm going to be with this club long term.
You got to love it.
Sometimes it's the only way, though, isn't it? Wasn't a lot on there, but...
Oof.
Don't want to cough the ball up here, do you?
29 seconds on the clock. Another dead ruck, and then get it off, I think, will be the remit. Oh, they're going to go now. Here it goes. So time for an attacking opportunity. Pretty good spot of the field as well for the Chiefs here.
Yeah, you thought they might have gone one more there. But, you know, Danny Kerr loves to get the feel of boot on ball. Right, Chiefs line out. Oh, they've gone quick again. Flat ball to big man Witten.
Around the corner. And that's good contesting work at the breakdown. We've got a dead ruck here.
So 40 minutes. Oh, gone. Good ball. Touch he goes. Touch he goes. Oh, no. Oh, I don't like this at all. Right, clock is red. Exeter Chiefs attacking the Quins 22, and they've got quick ball and they've got numbers as well, thankfully. There was a big big second rower on the ball and it didn't go wide.
Oh, that's a poor pass there.
Yeah, but
I think that's going to be what we're going to see here from Harlequin and Magic.
He's good.
Now that was a clear out, whoever did that. That was beautiful clear
so tense. 45 seconds into added time. Chiefs.
Oh, that's a great... Oh, no.
Oh, lovely step. How are you coping with all this?
Oh, we need the countdown clock.
Yeah. Is that Matt's...
Oh, we've got someone down here.
Yeah, and it's a head as well.
Oof. There we go.
Coughed up, right. I can't see who that is down, but there are some medics going on in...
The walking wounded, isn't it? I think the conditions are... looks all right out there. It stopped raining. But it's going to be slippery out there.
Hang on. Crowd have seen something that we haven't seen.
Here we go.
Oh, that's a red card for someone.
Oh, is it beyond the vertical?
Yeah, and then some. I think Alec Hepburn is in deep trouble. Watch this. Joe Marler has been picked up and put directly on his head. If that's not a red card, I'll be very surprised.
Yeah.
And it is Joe Marler who's down.
That's despicable. That's awful. I mean, think of all that weight going through his neck, his head. That's terrible.
And no need for it either.
Reckless.
So let's have a look at it now. Marler's over the ball. The first clear out's good. And then he just gets picked up and put on his head.
Picked up, bang. Oh, that's ugly.
Yeah, it's not great, is it?
It's the throw, isn't it? Bang. Ooh. Yeah, it's got to be red.
I'll be surprised if it's not.
They basically pile drive his head into the ground.
Yeah. I mean,
has he made it up okay?
he's still getting. He's still
his
getting.
neck. That'll be his neck.
He's still getting attention.
Is it Joe that's down?
Yes, it is Joe that's down.
That's got to be his neck that's going to be in real trouble there.
Oh goodness me!
Look at this. Oh dear. You don't really want to see that. Gosh.
Well, it's actually deciding who the guilty party is, because there are two players involved.
I think it's the guy who lifts the leg at the end.
The crowd
They're
again.
both. Oh yeah.
And he's driven him into the ground as well.
It's the guy on his feet. It has to be, right?
And he looks like he's thrown him to the
yeah,
ground.
that's what I'm saying, because it's the throw afterwards.
They're taking a long time over this. We don't have the benefit of the referees, Mike, so you guys watching at home, you will hear what the referee's saying, so we're only making assumptions. Yandel's there because he wants to be the first to know, of course, as the Chiefs captain. There will be a card, and what colour is it? It's red. Chiefs down to 14.
And who did he ping? Who's gone? Who's been given the marching orders?
Is Hepburn?
No, that's big for the big. I mean, firstly,
yeah, it is Hepburn confirmed. Do you know what?
Who is it is it Joe that was?
Yeah, it was Joe. It's Joe that got.
But he's up now, right?
No,
he's up walking around.
Tough boy, isn't he?
His neck's got some serious weight through his neck there.
Yes.
Who's that down for the Quins?
That's still Joe Marler getting. Oh no, that's Marler who's up.
Marler's up. Marler's up.
He's a strong boy, isn't he?
That looks like it's.
Oh, it's Kenningham.
Kenningham. It looks like his afternoon's done. And is that Chiz running on the field?
So Chiz. So I assume that'll be Lorde moving to open side, Chiz to blind side, and.
No, great to see that Joe's is okay and his neck's fine and he seems to be walking around okay. That's going to hurt tomorrow, though. Let's be honest.
I think so.
But this has got big implications for the rest of this game.
Yeah. Well, the work by. I mean, the reason it happened is because Marler was so good over the ball.
Absolutely.
He'd clamped on. He'd won the penalty.
Yeah.
And then he got dumped on his head. Oh, and Andre's missed touch, has he? Yeah, he has. Oh. So that'll be half time. So the changes then, right before half time, change in the back row, Kenningham off, Chisholm on. Great to see Chiz back involved after his little COVID incident where he missed the big game. Chiefs down to 14, but we've seen teams play well with 14 on the park. 7-7 at half time. George, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, a critical moment there just before the end of the half, that red card. It's going to impact the game. It's just how Exeter come out in that second half and how they choose to play. Man down in the pack, they'll be forced to stick another front rower on. They'll probably choose to play with one less back row. It'll be interesting to see who they take off there. But I think 7-7, as much as I'd like it to be a much more in Quinn's favour, I think it's a fair and accurate representation of the game. I think Quinn's try was great, but it wasn't necessarily. There's a little bit of luck involved there, and I think Exeter worked equally as hard to get their points. So all square and all to play for.
Well, plenty more to come from George in the second half. We'll be back when the match kicks off, but now enjoy some highlights from Quinn's under-18s who went earlier today.
We are at Kingsholm for this Premiership Rugby Under-18s League game between Gloucester and Harlequins, and we're in for a great afternoon of action. Well, set play, and here comes the driving maul. We've got the bodies in, and Harlequins still moving. Might have gone to ground, no, it's still going. Still piling forward, here come Harlequins. And that is the opening try of the game. Well, from 18 metres out, the driving maul off the line out, full power, full charge. The forwards, they don't need the backs. And that is first blood to Harlequins. Well, it was a lovely play, wasn't it, to the back of the line out. Players peeling off, re-entering the back, keeping it moving, pumping their legs. Well, first blood to Harlequins. And Cullen gets his back underway. Calais fizzing his way through out of the 22. And here's a lovely break. Pick and go from Brown. He's still going. He's got Clare on his inside. The scrum half, the Harlequins. He's going to streak away into the corner. Well, one becomes two, and Harlequins flourishing inside 10 minutes here at Kingsholm. Lovely stuff. The break coming from Harry Brown, and like every good scrum half, Charlie Clare on his inside shoulder. Well, there was just no guard at the ruck, was there, for Gloucester. Brown doing really well to draw Gilderson at fullback, and Clare is not going to miss. Gloucester just haven't had the possession, have they, to really get a stranglehold on this game, and it's a lovely take from Brown. Kerr feeding Calais, goes on his own, he's got a half break here, out to Waghorn. Waghorn needs some support. Can he glide over? Yes, he can. The Harlequin centres combining beautifully, and it is Ben Waghorn that gets the third try of the game. Well, they are bouncing and fizzing at the moment, aren't they? The set play, Calais breaks through the half tackle, and Waghorn just sliding over in the end. He knew where the try line was, got his arms free. Straight off the top, and here comes the red machine marching over, and that is a great, great try for Gloucester. Rampaging at Kingsholm, and just what the home support wanted. Gloucester piling the bodies in. Harlequins inching their way forward. Now they look to release the backs. Kerr steps and goes on his own. Short once again. This time it's Green. And Johnny Green around the fringes for the opening score of the half. Well, Harlequins at full throttle at the start of this second half. As they look to release the backs, Kerr opted to go on his own. He made the space, Gloucester couldn't get over, and Johnny Green darting his way through. Bellamy with the extras, of course. Well, clear sign of intent here from Gloucester, trying to use this forward pack to muscle their way downfield. At the back, and it's well picked up by Adams. Well stepped. Hossack has done a lovely bit of play here. He might be able to go all the way. 3 Harlequin shirts to bring him down. Adams can't release it to the blind side. It's still with Gloucester. Quins have the numbers back now. Pearson with the carry. Finally goes to ground. Adams to Marr. 3 to stop him, but he's managed to find his way through. And Fred Marr for Gloucester with the 5 points, and Gloucester's second try of the game. And it is the Harlequins under 18s here at Kingsholm against Gloucester, trying to extend their lead with the line out. And it's with Brown at the back, who manages to catch the slippy bar of soap. And here comes the driving maul charging forward. It's got a full 8 in there, and they have gone over an emphatic drive from Harlequins. The forward power once again, and there is nothing Gloucester could do about that. Well, the forwards will love watching this. Joe Adams under so much pressure, and it's straight down the throat of Ollie Bailey, and Bailey fancies a go round the outside. Can't quite get there this time. Still going, Harlequins though. Murdoch Lock with the inside ball. Well, that was lovely. Glorious stuff from Harlequins. Well, Murdoch Lock caught everybody napping with that no-look pass, and that is another score for Harlequins. Well, Joe Adams with the kick has to nothing really. Ollie Bailey tried to have a go himself. They kept going, didn't they, Harlequins here? Full power, full pace. And Murdoch Lock, or Ayton again with the line out ball. It's well taken. Here comes that driving ball. Look at the pace on this one, and of course it's Harlequins again. Johnny Smith with the score. Well, he's moved across the back row to number 8, and he was in prime position at the back of the maul, and you're not going to stop Harlequins from that far out when they have the extra man. Walks off the base. They're trying to play this one out wide, and it's almost fallen to Ollie Bailey. He's knocked it on. Well, the game just running out of steam, but that is the full-time whistle. And what a result from Harlequins here at Kingsholm.
The conditions have turned.
Yes, which is going to play into the team with fewer players' hands.
Yes.
Because as we were discussing earlier on, players like myself from the slower lot become half a yard quicker. It's a leveller, isn't it, in these conditions? So having fewer men is going to be less of a net benefit for Harlequins, to take advantage of than if it was dry, hot conditions, because it's just not going to be as quick a game.
Going down to 14 doesn't seem to have the same impact on teams as it used to. I cast my mind back to Harlequins when they went to Kingsholm last year. Andre got sent off.
Yeah.
They still managed to win the game. Last year, when Brownie was given the red card against Wasps, Harlequins managed to win the game. I mean, obviously losing a front row when you're in a real scrum arm wrestle isn't ideal.
Yeah.
But at 7-7 in the context of the season, with how important this game is, this is far from over.
Oh, absolutely! It's going to be a real scrap now as this rain comes down.
Luke Northmore puts boot to ball. That's a good kick from Northmore as well. What a nudge from Lukey Northmore off the left peg.
No, it's not going through, but that's a hell of a nudge.
He's taken it inside the 22, and he's taken Harlequins to about 32, 33 metres.
That's got some serious length on it.
It's got some dust on it. Less about Lukey's length, please.
Very impressive, man.
He is a good Harlequin, is Luke Northmore, the try scorer. If you're just tuning in, then the tail of the first half, Quinn scored early through Luke Northmore, had some great territory, couldn't convert any of it. Exeter Chiefs equalised through Henry Slade after a sustained period of pressure. It's been a big midfield arm wrestle, and then when the clock was red, in fact, Alec Hepburn dumped Joe Marler onto the top of his skull and got a red card for his troubles. Now it's 7-7, and Quinn's inside the Chiefs half. Chiefs on the ball, really big 40 minutes of rugby coming up. Exeter Chiefs win, they are bang back into playoff contention. Quinn's win, they stay in third, but there's a little bit of breathing space between them and the chasing pack. Tabai Matson said earlier in the season in one of his exclusives with Harlequins Live, we get those,
of course,
as Kaden is underneath that one. The top four and the knockout stages of the European competitions are the ambitions for Quins this season. You get yourself there, then anything can happen.
Absolutely, and of course unrivaled access.
Absolutely. Danny Kerr, box kick. Oh, has Kaden taken that? Oh, he's dropped it, has he?
I think
it's a good chase.
Chiefs have got it just on that attempt back into the trenches and no man's land.
This is the kind of game. Joe Marchant Joe Marler makes a chop tackle. Other than their similar sounding names, they're not the kind of guys you get confused.
Yeah. Rarely happens. Let's have a look. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be an attritional 40. Let's be straight.
Yeah. Knock back and back with Quins. Not entirely sure.
What's Tempest thinking there? If it was a knock on, that's a penalty.
Yeah.
He's bottled that, hasn't he? In the world, according to George, who's not affiliated with any official capacity with Harlequins, I would say that he's bottled that decision.
Yeah, it's play on or penalty, isn't it?
But he's gone, you can't have the ball in that area, so there you go.
Have you got your... so Cordero coming off, Moon coming on, so they're losing the left wing of Cordero. We've not seen a lot of Cordero, but he is a talented young man. Facundo Cordero, Argentinian, full-back or winger.
And you were saying earlier on about the performance he had.
Yeah, I mean, when the first game of the season, when Quins, last year when Simmons scored all those tries, he played at full-back on his debut, and he was what could be loosely described as a terrorist. He was absolutely fantastic. Right, first scrum of the second half, in it comes, and Quinn's looking to get a shove on. Quinn's getting a shove on.
Fantastic scrum.
And they get the ball away though. Jack Nolan at first receiver. No sealing off there as Don Brandt looks to counter. Johnny Hill, another Look, if you're in the trenches, he's the kind of player you want on your team, isn't he, Hill?
He's a big old unit, isn't he? He moves pretty well.
Well, we're spending quite a lot of time pumping up the tyres of the Chiefs players. Call him Mark Kaden, good lad. But I think that is because of the quality they've got all over the park. They're just a good team.
Yeah.
Now, Kaden Murley, another player not necessarily known for his kicking game, and that is the kind of shank that is maybe the reason for that, but plenty of other quality there as we search for the 50-22. Tyrone's under it though, so that's good news. Drills that up the channel. Oh, this could be a 50-22. Well played. Oh, Kaden Murley.
Above the head. Like he's catching a restart in the second row slips there,
Yes,
wasn't he? Unbelievable swagger. Nope.
Tyrone underneath it again. Chase coming in.
Now we're going to get a tackle here potentially. This could be. Oh, yes. No.
Collier, get it. Here we go. A tackle. Finally.
Now it's going to get in behind. Oh, lovely crossfield kick.
Oh!
Now you love to see it, don't you?
Oh,
Bit
you
of a
do.
high risk play there on the halfway line. Lovely crossfield kick.
Remember, keep your questions coming in. Asking the expert with Charles Stanley today. You are the
any
expert,
financial
George.
advice, anything you want to know. Interest rates, terrible. Inflation, what can we do about it?
Oh, it wasn't too far away, was
Put your
it?
money on good offensive kicks from Marcus Smith. That's what I put my money on at the moment. Look at that.
Is that gone straight? Come on. If everybody's reaching for it, then you've got to take a look at it, surely. But a rare, scrappy line out from Chiefs. They've got the ball in their own half. Oh, it's gone backwards. Oh, now it's coincidence. It's crocky.
The old Philip there from the ref. He's just gone. He's looked at it all and he's gone, you know what? Yeah, you can have it. Gave that last one. You got to love that in schoolboy rugby, right? We both played schoolboy rugby.
Yeah.
Where the referee just blatantly just goes, you know what? Let's just clear the decks. You can have a scrum this time. Feels a little bit like that, doesn't it?
I've read things where you've talked about the difference between the officiating in England and in France.
Yeah, subtle differences. Yeah.
Let's talk about some of the differences then.
Well, you've got what's described as the gap in the line out, and it's described in French rather beautifully. The direct translation is the corridor.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think there's the kind of the same level of diligence in France over the policing of the corridor. So corridor monitors in the UK, in Ireland, very, very fastidious. You know, hold on, you're a millimetre over the line. In France, you know, obviously growing up in a French school must have been a different experience. You obviously get battered. So yeah, the corridor, the couloir or the corridor in the top 14 is basically just like a street fight. You just get elbowed, people to take out the lifters, and the refs just look at you like, it's not my problem. Crack on.
Does couloir mean corridor?
Yeah, that's how it directly translates. Yeah, so
I love that.
As I understand it, could just be a dodgy Google translation.
Yeah, it could be.
We should ask that to James Johnston. We should get him back. We should get him on Facebook Live, shouldn't we?
Or James Johnston.
James Johnston.
En français.
Yeah, well, he's over there, isn't he? He's over there, filling his boots and croissants.
I love France. Great country. Good scrummage. Harlequins. Got to be an advantage coming.
That would have been a penalty already.
Here it is. Penalty
beautiful.
coming. Scrappy ball. Let's see if we can do something with it. Marcus Smith taking it to the line. Dishes it to Tyrone Green, who scoops it in
So
behind.
that's another one of those advantages. It's a nothing advantage, right?
Yeah.
Where is he's given it? No. So we've just. You know what we need to do? We need to go away. We need to gather some data. Don't we? We need to get some data on how many minutes in a game are lost through ineffective uses of advantage.
We've had a question that's on the screen here. Why were you wearing your lifting blocks for this photo shoot? So there's a photo of you here as a Premiership champion, I hasten to add.
So see Sumner Smith, what you can't see, the context on that photo shoot is I'd just come off winning the bloody Premiership at HQ at Twickenham. So I'm sorry I didn't take my bloody tape off the legs, you know, just too eager to go and celebrate and get in front of a camera. So yeah, one of the things when you win a Premiership, right, after the game you get dragged across and you do photographs in the background. It's a bit of an odd thing, to be fair, but yeah, you'll see a lot of the players like Joe Gray and Danny Kerr and that lot, they like to take their tops off. Not me. I like to go full kit. Just lifting straps on. good question, though.
It is a great question. Keep them coming in. What we've missed there is Harlequins with a great penalty in attacking position transpire to miss-touch, kick the ball dead. So Exeter Chiefs get off the hook. There's us
With the scrum.
having too much fun and missing out on the rugby. But see,
Well, we didn't miss much by the looks of it.
That's true.
see Sumner Smith. Great question. Keep them coming in. A great answer as well.
And so we got scrum time again. And you know what? It could be just. It's going to be tight. Do you just play that attritional style now that's against your DNA? Do you just dominating the scrums and the set pieces?
Oh, here comes Simmons going at Marcus Smith, getting over the gain line as well. That's something you've got to be weary of. One of the best in the business once he gets those pistons pumping.
Yeah, great early acceleration, hasn't he? Again.
Well, I mean, obviously he's strength-wise he is freakishly strong, but he's quite diminutive for a number 8. He's not the tallest, he's not the heaviest, but goodness me, he can move. George Hitman asks, how do you feel about this current Quins team, George?
Oh, I think that's a beautiful take. I don't know. I mean, as we're seeing today, right? They've got a depth and an ability and a willingness to really go out there and play.
Speaking of which, Kaden Murley on the inside ball. It's got to be try time.
Time. Get in.
Oh, it's gone to ground.
No.
And it's going to go into touch.
No.
Oh,
No.
he's blown that after we've.
Rob Buchanan came in and butchered it. Look at that.
I can't believe you've not scored there.
What happened?
You were literally just talking about Harlequins
how
playing rugby.
Well, I was about to say live by the sword and die by the sword, and we sort of, I don't know. Let's have a look at this.
It's the hope that kills you. I mean, look at this take from Joe Marchant to start with. Absolutely brilliant. He gets wrapped up there by Sam Simmons, and then Kaden Murley, lovely stop and go. So Andre picks out Northmore, who puts in Murley. There's the inside ball there.
Now you're just
it's got to go one more. Danny Kerr wants it. Oh no!
Oh, just a bit of a ropey offload.
Has this ball gone?
But that's all right. We're in the right area of the pitch.
Good territory.
Right area of the pitch. We get it. And again,
has this gone dead? Oh yeah. Come on,
right area of the pitch.
And there's a fumble there. Yes, Quins ball. Thank you.
And this again, to a degree, this is all right. This is exactly what you want, right? You're going to squeeze them in the pack again, get after them. But yeah, to answer the question, Mr. Hitman, I think it was. There's the right balance.
Yeah.
And there's the right philosophy of attack. That live by the sword, die by the sword mentality, getting after it. It's great to see.
Scrum time, 15 metres in, 5 metres out, rain coming down. Change at hooker for Chiefs. Still the same front row on.
Could be that chewing gum from Yandler. Maybe he's got it as windpipe.
Oh, listen to this.
Did you know that Joe Gray has that as his doorbell at home?
Oh, I forgot to tell you why I've got a bone to pick with Grazer, but I will.
We'll get onto that.
It'll have to be after the game because I can't grass him up in front of the good people. Oh, penalty, Quins.
Well, see, this is great. Now do you scrum again? I think you go again. You grind them down.
My question with that is, and it's happened a couple of times this season and last season, where we've got the ascendancy in the scrum. You go again, and then you concede the penalty.
No, but I think this is exactly the right call to go again. They've got a new young hooker just come on the pitch, just been penalised. If anything, perhaps not the best time to stick a new hooker on for Yandel. I think it was who's come
Yandel,
off. Now you turn the screw here, or as my old friend Owen Frank should say, Ben Frank should say, sorry, Owens is far much more successful on the brother. So Ben Frank should say, now Robbo, this is where you twist the knife.
Yeah.
Which is a bit macabre, but this is what needs to happen, right?
Oh, the crowd sound unbelievable.
Isn't this great?
Yeah,
right,
great.
After COVID, after everything's happened, isn't it brilliant to see at the Stoop?
It's incredible. And look, we've got to say it's reflected in grounds up and down the country as well. People really getting behind their teams.
Absolutely.
And the Prem's in rude health. I mean, there are so many teams that are playing great rugby at the moment. Thankfully, we get to watch 2 of them here today.
Absolutely.
Lucky,
and
lucky
no better
boys.
than their mighty Quins, obviously.
Of course. 7-7. No points in the first 13 minutes of the second half. Quins Packing down to scrum again. For those of you that are missing out today, because maybe you've had a positive lat flow or PCR test, we can't wait to welcome you back. I know some good pals of mine are watching at home today because they couldn't be here, but don't worry, everyone who has come is making plenty of noise on your behalf. Second if we don't count that brilliant break by Kaden Murley. Opportunity for Quins. First minute to the 22 of the second half. Ball's in at the scrum again.
Keep it in as long as they can.
It's moving again.
And it's exactly as you described it.
So that's, do you know what? That's 2 shots fired that we've come away with. Firstly, missing the corner and then coughing the ball up there.
And then the scrum.
Another penalty. Harlequin.
It's gone quick. Danny Kerr, beautiful.
He loves to go quickly. And now we can't see. It's got to go. Danny Kerr looking for 2 in 2 weeks. Another penalty advantage coming. This is a massive chance for Quins. On the line, slow ball, the penalty advantage coming. Marlow with a carry. So many bodies to the right. It's got to go. It's got to go. Oh, come on, Marcus.
Smith just held up.
We need to score here. Goodness, we need to score. It is still a penalty advantage.
Yeah, this is going to be all right. This is going to be all right.
Oh, the ref.
Worst case, you got a penalty.
Yeah. Look at the ref arching over here, having a look at this. Quins camped on the line. There's a carry. Is it down? Crowd like it.
He's got to call time, has he? And have a look.
All right.
Knock on, back for the penalty.
Yeah, back for the penalty. Okay.
Okay, so and again, quite a few penalties being eked out here.
Yeah.
You know, do they have a chat with do they have a little word in his ear, in the Tempest's ear?
Well, I think it was a penalty for offside. He's knocked it on. Yeah, he has knocked it on.
Persistent offence. At what stage do we get a yellow?
Just seen the replay and Chiz doing a swan dive belly flop over the over the melee of bodies. Right then, what's the call here? Is it a scrum? Is it a tap? Is it a line out?
They'll scrum again, I think. If they've got the conviction to do it a few phases earlier, I don't know why you wouldn't do it again.
Yeah. Can we put that question up again, please? I missed that one. Too busy looking at the play away to our left. I did see a strap in there. Could you say hi to my dad, Jim? It's his 42nd birthday next week. Josh Adams, Jim
there
Adams.
You go.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Jimmy boy.
Hello, Jim. I wonder
the big 52.
The big 42.
Oh, sorry, 42.
42.
So, forgive me.
Happy birthday, Jim. Josh said he's going to buy you a great present. It's the best birthday present you've ever had.
Perfect.
What is the best birthday present you've ever had?
So many.
Have any of the lads at the club ever got you a good present?
No, never. never. Right,
Scrum Quins.
I don't know what it says about them or me.
Yeah.
Right, let's have a look.
5 metres out. If Chiefs get away with this, they will consider themselves to have done very well.
Here we go.
Oh, go on then. One more pass. Oh my God, we've blown it again.
But it's okay. And again, it's frustrating, but it's pressure in the right areas of the pitch. They've got 14 men. I'd start to be getting upset when they clear their lines.
Yeah,
we're still in the red zone. We're still obviously you can't be happy with this, but as a player now, you've got to be thinking, great, we're defending a line out 5 minutes from their line, let's really squeeze them again.
It is also evidence that Tyrone Green is human.
Yeah, we all needed that,
because there have been some questions. Oh goodness me, Joe Marchant was in acres of space.
And it is worth saying, going for that ball in these conditions, really greasy ball at the moment. It's been through come straight out of a scrum. It's not going to be a dry ball.
Yeah.
Greasy conditions. Let's have a look. Over the top. They know it's coming. Quins have read that.
Sam Skinner.
So now we've got a dead ruck.
Sam Skinner's on for Johnny Hill. God, that's a second row to bring off the bench, isn't it? Heading north of the border at the end of the season, Sam Skinner, Scotland International.
The Skinnertron.
Interestingly, former teammate of Tom Lauday. They played at university together.
Oh wow!
in that team that won Bucks Super Rugby.
So now we can be upset.
Not yet, because Marchant's taken that.
Yeah, we're still in the right areas. We're still in the right areas of the pitch.
Oh, another question on the screen from Tim Crooks. What was the story behind Goat?
Oh, if I told you that, Tim Crooks, I'd have to kill you.
Oh, Luke's knocked it on. Here we go.
No, I can happily divulge that information, and no, it didn't involve an actual live goat. I'd just like to clarify that. No, at school, I looked a lot like a goat.
And that is it. Get a bounce.
Similar running style as well, apparently. So I was called the French mountain goat at school. Got to Quins, got simplified a bit more. And yeah, I think it's a guy called Sebi Jewell who christened me that over here.
Okay.
Here we go, bit of space.
Put your foot on that. Yeah, go on. And now don't get that awful bounce.
Very good question, I have to say.
Yeah.
And it was obviously I was obviously really happy when Will Skinner told everyone at Bath that it was because I was a self-proclaimed greatest of all time. Because as well, this is the other thing, right? This should have been 2009. There wasn't really the greatest of all time thing.
No.
Didn't happen then.
Well,
no one was going on about it as a goat thing.
I'm not going to tell you about the 90s when rapper LL Cool J released the album Goat, Greatest of All Time. Phenomenon was the lead single from that.
Well, but of course, but it hadn't proliferated its way into public school rugby in the 90s. It was, you know, what a legend. Will Collier going off for his 200th. What a shift. And again, what a great shift in the scrum he's had today.
It certainly has. He looks battle hardened, doesn't he? Simon Kerrod coming on to replace him. Tiz coming off as well. Is that Dino Lamb coming on? Yeah, you can see that white head guard.
Come on for Tizard. I've been impressed with Tizard recently.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Him and Lamb, but both great young prospects, you know, and be able to learn from some brilliant older players, you know, Simo and obviously Skipper.
Yeah, Skipper Steph. So Hugh Jones is on for the try scorer Luke Northmore.
This is a great rolling ball there. Look at this.
Yeah.
Got to take it out though. It's
going to have to come, Still going forward, but Exeter doing well to slow it down. Now, first touch for Hugh Jones. There was a...
no one with him though.
Yeah.
No one with him. Really badly sourced play. Now this is where we start to get upset, because now we can go back to their 3-4 opportunities. Should have scored, or not butchered.
Yeah, Big Dave Ewers with a turnover. He's done that a few times, hasn't he?
Absolutely. It just wasn't an accurately sourced breakdown. It was really simple. Well, pretty good clarity, just no one there to clear it out.
And I think Hugh Jones as well. He's in at second receiver. You know exactly what he's going to do, and Exeter read it really. He was lining up at 12 with Andre at 13. But now in defence they've changed that. So off the back of the line out, well, Chiz is just going in. So you've got Jack Walker standing out. Then you've got Marcus, Andre, Hugh Jones, Kaden, and then
Chiz is running out again. That's, by the way, if you're defending your line out, you've got someone like Chiz running in and out of it. It drives you nuts. They always do it.
Shuttle runs for Chiz.
Right. Okay, that's a great set from Exeter. Some good go forward there.
Well, this is their first real opportunity in the second half, Exeter. They've survived for 20 minutes and Quins have not been nearly accurate enough in the red zone. So the score remains 7-7. This, what can only be described as an attritional battle.
Advantage being given now.
Yeah, and they'll go for the points here if... Oh, good chase by Andre, goodness me.
So now, again, you go back, you've got the benefit of the hindsight.
Yeah.
You take the points, don't you?
Yeah.
The scrum pens.
When you win 5 metres out, when you win a scrum pen, my instinct always tells me to do something else. But I'm not a coach and I'm not a player. And
That's
I'm
all right, though.
Certainly not a Premiership winner.
That's all right, though. I think there's, well, obviously in the context of today's game, you can see that's probably would have been the right call. But let's see. I mean, Exeter going for corner.
So yeah, I mean, if Chiefs do make something happen here, then fair play to them. But I mean, missing touch there, not great. Coughing up the ball there, not great. Throwing a pass straight into touch, not great either. Harlequins in making life difficult for themselves. Shocker. Who'd have thought?
I just think they want to make it interesting for the last 10. you know, I haven't been there. It's probably all it is.
Let's have a look to see if we've had any more questions through. Yes, keep them coming. We'll get him in. Oh, what I haven't told you is that you are in charge of selecting the DHL moment that delivers. So it can be anything. It can be a try. It can be a player. It can be an individual moment. So
maybe not the clean out on Joe Marler.
No, I wouldn't have thought so.
If we benefit from the red.
But we'll give you 10 minutes for that. You guys watching at home who want to win this match-worn Archie White jersey.
Look at that.
There it is, the famous jersey with the River Thames running through it as well. One of my favourites. Yeah.
Oh, of course it is.
If you look at the Thames running through the bottom there you go. The jersey, of course, that Harlequins won the Premiership in last year and got all those great away victories in. Then you've got another 5 minutes to get your guess in. Who will be the final try scorer for Harlequins? You've got Simo trying to swim through that maul, but it's starting to move now.
No.
This is Exeter at their best, and Quinn's in a spot of bother. The back starting to add their way. 5, 6, 4 metres
this
short
is going to
now.
go over by the looks of things unless they can get into touch. Oh, I hate this.
It's awful. It's all at our end as well.
That's one of the great things about being a player, is in moments like this you can literally just, at least you've got something for which you just stick your head in like cheers. Just watching it's not quite the same.
Oh God. Quinn's committing bodies and they're in touch.
Brilliant. I mean, that's a candidate for a moment delivery already, isn't it? Look at that.
That was Walker, wasn't it?
Bit of recency bias.
Also right up your street as well, going up the short side.
A rolling maul into touch, just stuck his head in, hasn't he? He's not messing around. And now he's got to throw the ball in. You know what? If he nails his dart here, let's put some pressure on him for his moment, for his DHL moment. Does he get anything from it? No.
The
just
pride.
Exposure on social media. Is there a prize or anything?
The pride of winning the DHL moment that delivers.
Surely they can give him some. I don't know. You know what? DHL, fair play.
Yeah.
Brilliant service. I used them to ship my stuff out a few times. When I left Harlequins, actually, I used them. They're brilliant. To move over to France, they moved all my stuff.
Oh, did they?
And then I went to work in sports nutrition, and then I realised how impossible it is to ship anything anywhere. I had a newfound love for DHL and their ability to get stuff where it needs to be on time, so fair play.
At the DHL. We're of course sat here in the DHL stand for Harlequins Live. Another change for Quins, Kaden Murley off, Lewis Liner on.
So is he going to deliver with his throw as well?
Oh, I hope so.
Are we going to call him the postman or the midwife?
Watch. Oh, they found Dino Lamb at the front.
Safe pair of hands, but can they keep it?
Oh, they're going to keep it. Tell you what, they've
on
had
the
to
pitch.
No, is the answer.
No, it's been juggled out into touch.
Again, just vintage Exeter Chiefs.
Like a bar of soap, wasn't it? To use an original rugby analogy there.
I mean, Exeter make life hard for you, but it has to be said that the Harlequins are making life hard for themselves.
This is the part that's it is brutal, isn't it? Watching this as a fan.
Yeah, certainly is. Just for your information, 67 minutes on our clock. The game clock is currently at 63, coming up to 64 minutes as Chiefs go to the back and look to set. Quinn's hit it early. Oh, is that a penalty advantage coming for Chiefs?
That is such a soft penalty to be giving there. I mean, you almost feel like I suppose it's from the last couple of mauls.
Yeah.
The man in the middle being influenced by the dominance, and then Quins have then gone in pretty early, but not. I wouldn't say that was. I mean, that's a bit of the parking ticket type of decision. In France, that'd have been carry on. That corridor is being. The corridor monitor is taking this very seriously here.
Sacre bleu. Interestingly, I think Exeter are having a decision about what to do here. 3 points are kickable.
You see, that's where again pragmatic in these conditions.
I think so.
You and I now both. There's no debate, is there now?
But also, it's territory for Chiefs because they can take the lead, but then they're inviting Harlequins into their half. So, good line-up ball again. Quins don't send someone up, and Exeter start the drive. It's a great counter from Quins.
The ref looked like he was flapping to try and get into.
Oh, now it starts to go forward for Chiefs.
This is all sending all the backs in.
Yeah,
this is going over.
Yeah, try time.
This is going over.
Try time. The Chiefs lead. Goodness me.
Not very happy.
This fella in front of us on his own is just having the best day of his life, isn't he?
Sit down.
Yeah.
Sit down.
That is so annoying. So annoying. But one shot fired, one try. Let's count Quins.
15 minutes to go, 14 minutes to go. Oh, he's turning around giving us some lip now. Oh, unbelievable.
To be fair, when you fire up the time machine and go back to 1968, you'll have a lovely time. I'm only joking, mate. Enjoy the game. No, I wasn't.
Oh.
84, I was born.
Great year.
Might
Great
not even
vintage.
make it to your age.
Great rugby. Hey, you know what? Whatever happens today, mate, rugby's the winner.
Rugby is the winner.
Rugby's the winner.
I mean, hopefully Quins are the winner, but rugby will be the winner.
But rugby's always the winner.
Yeah. Yes, very good. Is he getting sharp with you?
No, he's going for it. He's going for it. He loves it. He's a happy, passionate fan. It's what you want to see. And you know what? It's great that he can stand up and shout.
It certainly is. I'm not
less of the chant. Less of the chant. Less of the chant. Come on.
Right then, kick to make it a 7-point ball game.
Oh, he's
missed it.
He appeared to. There appeared to be a load of. I don't know what came off the tin.
For the golfers watching, he's caught that fat.
There you go.
You a golfer?
Sadly not. Sadly not yet. I'd like to get into it. Now I've got a new hip.
Oh yeah,
got a good chance.
Is it left hip or right hip?
Left, mate. Left.
Oh well, you'll be
whoopsie daisy.
You'll be getting that one through and hitting a beautiful draw. So you've had yours done. Does Jordan Turner Hall? Did he have a hip done as well?
That's right. Very similar sort of predicaments, the pair of us. So he got his done a bit earlier.
It's only the top players get the hips done, isn't it?
Yeah. Only people with horrific mileage on the clock. You know, the types of player that at the end of the career probably, you know, to use a metaphor, be sent to the glue factory.
Right. Good kick. Oh.
You know what? He's that kind of player, isn't he, Green? Where he's always on the edge of doing something, and you go, "Don't do that," and then he nails it and pulls it
brilliant.
off. So,
right then, 12 minutes to go. Quins facing 14 men and facing a 5-point deficit. Oh, goodness me.
Plenty of time.
Plenty of time. Plenty of time. It's weird, isn't it? Because we're what? This is the 12th game of the season, so you win this, and you've won 8, lost 4. You lose it, and you've won 7, lost 5. And even though it's only a 1-game differential, it seems like quite a lot, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Especially when you're chasing playoffs and it's so tight. And also, I'm not gonna say it yet, but there's Kerrod, peel around the corner, and now Andre.
It's pragmatic. That's all right though.
Yeah,
it's in a decent enough spot.
This is going off the pitch, is it? No, Marcus is there.
But now he's got some space there. They'll have a crack here when he goes.
Oh, good tackle. Oh, don't isolate him. Little kick here, is it? No. Hugh Jones.
See, now one thing I think we can be certain of, chasing the game, we're going to have a crack.
Yeah.
It looks like we're going to go for it. Which is
Hugh Jones
has not gone very well there.
Hugh Jones has had 2 carries and been turned over twice. But I don't think that's anything to do with him. He's just been isolated.
no, not causation and correlation. Right?
Yes.
So it could just be, I think players like that as well. He's got some great footwork. So sometimes
he's been tackled off the ball there.
Yeah, someone has, hasn't they? Who's got the touch flag up? Flags up for it though, I think.
So if he's not in control of the ball, I mean the ball's gone out on the full. So are we going for a line out here? Yeah. But if Tyrone Green has dropped the ball and he's been melted, which appeared to happen. Yeah, we're just seeing a replay now. So Hugh Jones, he's run into 3 blokes. Marcus Smith is the first man there. It's
he's got good footwork, hasn't he?
Brilliant.
And I think that's part of the problem. Is it's harder then for the players around him. Ironically, a victim of his success a little bit, to get over the ball nice and quickly. Whereas if you've got someone sticking their head down, going very straight, very or telegraphed, it's easier to clear out sometimes. So perhaps that might be something.
Oh, it's gone forward. Harlequins ball.
Now this isn't looking great, is it? It stopped raining though.
Yeah. Into the final 10 minutes then. So the point I was going to make was, Quins have won 4 in a row in all competitions. They've gone away to Castres and won.
Yeah.
They've won here against Cardiff. Then they won over the road against Northampton Saints. And then they beat Gloucester at Kingsholm last week.
Yeah.
Before that, defeat to London Irish here.
Yeah.
Defeat to Saracens here. I've not won a game here since Bath.
Yeah, well, you know, I think what you can derive from that as well is that it's an important game for momentum, right?
Yeah.
This outcome, as you rightly sort of highlighted, and rugby is such a sport where momentum comes into play, especially in this league.
Yeah,
it's an attritional league. You know, relegation, no relegation, who cares? Every week it's a dogfight. So,
yeah, of course.
So and when you start to sort of cement your place at the top of the table, it's something people don't necessarily talk about. But guess what? Players look at the league table.
Yeah.
And when you look at who you're up against, the first thing you look at, where are they? And you've got that visibility and understanding. So you know it's important to have that, you know, in your favour.
And with no promotion and no relegation for teams like Harlequins and Exeter Chiefs, it's top 4 or bust, really.
That's it, exactly. And yeah. And the longer the season goes on, again, you know, it is a bit of a marathon, not a sprint, right?
Certainly is. But in a marathon, you need a pretty steady start, if not a flying one. Exeter Chiefs didn't have one, but victory here today, and certainly put them on the road. That's a good chase. Exeter doing everything right for a team who are a player down at the moment. Counter followed by a counter, and Quins on the ball. Dino Lamb.
I feel like Quins are going to have to just give it a crack now, to be honest.
But it's quite difficult when Chiefs are playing so well.
Yeah.
Because look, Danny's going straight to the boot now.
Let's have a look.
He's kicking it to the back 3, who are all
3 of them lined up.
Attritionally kicking. Stuart Hogg. Let's put that one up.
That's come down with snow off it.
Tyrone's done really well there.
Tyrone's one of those players. He's one of those players. The coach will be like, "What are you doing that for?" And then,
did you see?
Well done.
Did you see the up and under he took? He took over the road where he hit the deck, took it in one hand, and then just popped the elbow out to.
That's
an attempt to drop
duck, that, wasn't it?
Oh, okay.
To the 22.
He's.
Now I feel like we're at a crucial juncture in the match here, where, well, we're 6 minutes to go, 7 minutes to go. We are not in any control of this game.
No. And the first half, almost a mirror image of the second half, where Quins are bang on top at the start, don't make anything happen, and now they're chasing their tails a little bit.
It's that period of 4 or 5 missed chances, isn't it?
4 or 5 missed chances is too many. Oh, Simo. 2 second rowers.
Now they've just got to go. They've just got to play now.
Attempted a 50-22. Is it going to get a bounce? Go on, Danny Kate. Unlucky. If that gets the bounce, we're talking about the DHL moment that delivers. As it stands, you've got a brilliant clearance kick.
Yeah, I just feel now at this stage we're just going to have to play.
Yeah.
You got 5-6 minutes left. You need to get over the game line and get moving. And this static, way of playing at the moment is playing into the side hands who can start, stop, run the clock down. Right now, as an example, we've got a player from Exeter down legally. He's probably got a knock or something, and players from both sides are standing still.
Yeah.
Now that takes away any advantage you've got by having an additional player on the pitch. So we're stood here, and you're not emptying any tanks for the Exeter players, and you're losing the advantage you've got. So I feel like we just got to. I mean, it might be too late, but we just got to play now.
Well, 6 minutes left on the clock. Just looking at Exeter's away form since the 27th of March. Played 8, won 7, lost 1.
Impressive, isn't it?
Incredible form. Change at scrum half for Exeter. Maunder off. Quinn's winning the line out.
Here we go. Come on, lads.
Tyrone Green again doesn't want to get isolated. Surely there are Chiefs players not supporting their body weight there, but you know, we are where we are. Again,
boot to ball again.
Marcus not taking the ball. Good chase though. And of course, with Kenningham not on the pitch, we don't have the obvious jackler to try and turn that ball over as well. Don Brandt's pulled his weight in recent weeks in that sense, as has Andre actually. But it hasn't really been that type of game, is it? Especially for Exeter, because they clear out so well. This will suit them though. Slow balls, fine ball. 5 minutes of the match to go.
And we'll get another nice long box kick.
This one of those grounds where, chase on Marcus. Lovely feet.
Right, here we go. The Marcus magic show. Let's go.
Go. He's got to kick it. He's got to kick it. He's on his own. Oh, he's done well to slow it down.
Now we've got to go. Kicking it again onto the touchline. Go on. Go on.
Oh, he's knocked it on. He's knocked it on.
Wow.
One of those days.
The space was there, you know. And again, we're in a decent spot.
One of those days.
Let's hope not. Let's hope not.
Beautiful nudge. Yeah, you rush out of the line against Marcus, and that can happen. It's a lovely ball.
He's unbelievable, isn't he?
Yeah, certainly is. Lovely ball to Marchant, who I thought was going to have a little kick in behind, but did well to just take the pace off and allow people to come and join him.
It's a good ball as well there to Marchant. Yeah, as you said, right, he was under a lot of pressure there. Space was in behind him. He managed to just stay on his feet long enough for support to arrive.
Do you know what? That actually didn't have the worst bounce on another day. That sticks.
Yeah, it was all right.
Right,
and he knows it as well, doesn't he? He knows it. Liner can tell. He knows there's a real opportunity there.
Scrum. Chiefs put in 5 metres from their own line. Oh, good shove coming on from Quinn's here.
That's got to be a pen.
Yeah, they've got it out.
Just burgled it out of there nice and quickly.
Yeah, good work at 8 from Simmons.
This is there to be won.
Just need the
ball. On a knife edge, isn't it?
Yeah. Right then, come on Quinns. Chiefs need a clearance. 3 minutes to go. Boot to ball, liner underneath it. Takes it. Oh, good chase. Good offload as well. Oh God, it's edge of your seat stuff every time he's on the ball, isn't it?
Yeah, wouldn't have it any other way.
Edge of your seat, seat of your pants, whichever you prefer. Go on then. Hugh Jones looking for the offload, doesn't get there. Oh, this feels like last chance saloon, doesn't it?
Got to play.
Go on then. Go on then.
Yes, he's held on to it.
He's a big old boy. And penalty advantage. Here we go.
Right,
got to go.
I mean, 2 minutes on the clock. You got to into the corner now, haven't you, I suppose?
I think so. Oh, is that Joe Marler throwing midfield dummies?
78 minutes played. Oh, crossfield kick.
Oh! Try time! Yes!
There we go.
Oh my goodness!
Calling the postman. He's delivered. Look at that. There it is.
Oh my God, it's been promising, it's been threatening to happen. And Andre's hanging out there.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, goodness me, 12-12.
Lurking on the wing.
He's the boy, isn't he?
Now all we need is the kick to go on.
What do you make of that, mate? Enjoy that? It's funny.
He's still shaking.
Funny, our Exeter friend hasn't turned around and said anything about that.
His neck's just wound right back in, isn't it?
It's mad,
unbelievable.
Isn't it? Oh, as I will say though, it's the hope that kills you. Nice to see him get over the try line as well, because he's been man of the match the last couple of weeks, but he doesn't always get the 5 pointers.
No. He's had a nice little swim in that corner as well, hasn't he?
Are they checking for offside? Oh, he's miles on. Miles on.
The space has been there, hasn't it? And what an unbelievable finish. Look at that.
Yeah, good take, good finish.
There comes the splash.
Oh, they're checking for offside.
But he's not, though.
Watch him here. Oh, you can't. He's miles on. It'll be like in football soon, where we get the lines drawn across, and
yeah,
I think on that angle, that's a very, very, very difficult call to make. Not in favour of the attacking team. Oh, crikey! The drainage in the in-goal area is not great, is it?
Just get into the groundy. Yeah, look at Marcus enjoying that on the replay. Brilliant to see. That's a moment that delivered for sure.
Yes. Well, in which case, shall we say that try?
I would say that kick there. Oh, maybe this one.
Oh my goodness, the silence in here. Well, we'll know as soon as it leaves the boot if it's good or not, because the crowd will go bonkers. Here we go. Marcus Smith to put Quins into the lead. Tough conversion. Tough conversion. Oh, it's hit the beans on toast and gone in! Quins lead!
And that's it. That's it.
Don't say that.
He's got to. Let's catch it. Get it off the pitch. Marcus Smith, take a bow.
Goodness me!
Take a bow. What a shot.
Right then. Chiefs go short.
Catch this.
It's been knocked on.
Right, no penalties now. No penalties.
It's been knocked on. I don't believe this.
Clock's dead. By the time they set up, the clock is dead. No penalties. That has got to be the message.
How are you, Quins fans?
Oh, look who's turned around again. Look who it is.
What's your name, mate? My name's Dave as well. We got Dave and Dave. So Dave is our resident Chiefs fan.
They've decided to. He was like an owl. He's got his 20 quid.
He's betting.
He's got his 20 quid out. He's got his 20 quid out, Dave.
Well,
I hope you've got that fishing rod.
Great game between two great teams. Quins have had their hearts broken late a couple of times this year. Once by Saracens.
Good scrum.
Great scrum for Quins. Oh, right.
And he wants another one.
Chiefs thought they'd won a penalty, but instead it's going to be put in again.
He wants another one. Oh, Tempest. The Tempest.
Goodness me. The way Exeter were celebrating, I can't get my words out. Crikey.
I know, well, the nerves are shot.
Do you know?
The nerves are shot.
So, when I'm not doing this, I work as a rugby commentator, and I'm so composed. No matter what happens, then you put me on this, and I just forget how to use the most basic English words.
But who can blame you in an atmosphere? In the cauldron.
Quins 14, Quins 14, Chiefs 12. The atmosphere here remarkable. Chiefs put in 10 metres from the touchline, 30 metres from the Quins line. The clock is red. Rob Baxter is up out of his seat.
Hold it firm. Just don't do anything silly. Keep your feet in the ground.
Danny Kerr called onside. And Jack Nolan at first receiver.
Now just tackle them, please.
Yeah, no penalties.
Just tackle them all and don't
Sam
do any
Simmons with that turn right in front of the sticks. Quins
discipline now.
Yeah,
discipline now. Nothing silly.
Look at these heavy. There's a man over the ball. There's a man over the ball there. There's a man over the ball there.
Nothing silly.
Have Quins turned it over? Quins have turned it over.
That's got to be it. Come on. Yes! That's it! Come on! Yes! You beauty. Oh, more fireworks. We're back on again.
I can't believe that. Full time, Harlequins 14, Exeter 12. George, your debut on the show. Your thoughts on the game that we've seen?
What a game. I mean, not a high scoring affair, but the tension all the way through, and what a game, what a try to finish it. And like we said, do they know any other way? Just entertaining rugby right to the death. You got to love it.
Nicola Grenville, congratulations, you chose Andre Esterhazen. You are getting the match-worn Archie White jersey. Remember to get your Quins points in as well. We spoke to Adrian earlier. He had.
On your way, Dave. Cheers.
Thank you, Dave. Hopefully the
On your bike
time machine starts.
On your bike back to Exeter, buddy. It's a long old cycle, that one, isn't it?
In all seriousness, though, Quins fans, get your Quins points in. We spoke to Adrian earlier. He won a great prize. We love to reward the supporters. If you can't get to the ground, watch us every week. It's great to have you. The fireworks have gone off again. The smoke is over the ground. You've got two teams who have grafted their socks off there, and Quins have got 4 very valuable points. That's a big win, isn't it?
Oh, it's a massive win in the context of the season, and isn't it brilliant? Will Collier, he's got his 200th. They picked up the win. Obviously, we got the 50th as well.
Yeah.
And you know, what a great position to be in. I think that'll be an interesting review on Monday into the game and areas to improve on. But you know what? I think it's to be able to come through these types of games against this type of opposition and come away with that win. It says a lot about the mental toughness of the group. So lots to work on, but brilliant result, and what a kick to win it! You know,
unbelievable. Marcus Smith. And Andre Esterhazen. I've just seen
another MLM.
Yeah, I've just seen that they put the medal around his neck. That's 3 in a row now. You talked about him being arguably Quinn's best signing in the last few years. It's remarkable, isn't it?
I mean, the physicality he brings and the edge that he brings to the side. I think, you know, he's one of those people. I'm sure, if I'm playing Harlequins and I'm playing 12 for my team, I'm going up to the Stoop or Quins are coming to me. That's the first thing you'd be looking at. Is he fit for the weekend? And they'd be like, please, I'm not meant to be here. You know, when he's lining you up. I mean, to carry and in defence. I mean, the physicality he brings, he really truly has an ability to impact the game, which is really special. And I think, you know, another man of the match performance from him today. But just delighted that Quins have managed to get the win. Because in all fairness, you know, credit to Chiefs.
Yeah.
You know, man down for half the game, and it almost, like you said, it almost felt like it was you know, jinxed or something.
Their game management from going a man down, and even after 20 minutes to 40 minutes, then for the majority of the second half, the way they played the game a man down, you wouldn't have thought they were. They were a credit, really, weren't they?
No, and as we said, the conditions helped them definitely, but the resolve they showed was brilliant. And no, it's just couldn't Quins have done that a bit earlier, mate? Don't you think? Well, then I suppose we'd have had another half hour with 2 points just on the edge of our seats at the end there. But cool, better.
A fantastic victory for Harlequins. The playoffs, 1 game close, a little bit of breathing space now. Of course, as we progress, we go back into European rugby, then Quins will miss a few players for the Six Nations. And when you think about that, when you've got the luxury of having Don Brandt in the team and Smith in the team, maybe we'll lose March and maybe Liner, maybe Kenningham. You need to win those games when you've got all of those guns available.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, the core of the team's really pushing through. And again, the other guys we've already mentioned today, and you know, in the pack, the youngsters coming through. It's great to see them in a really good spot. I just don't know how you do this on a regular basis, because it's one thing, you know, being on the edge of your seat, but also having to think of something to say without having a nervous breakdown or swearing. It's pretty remarkable.
There have been swear words. Great to have you on. Thank you so much for spending today with us, and thank you very much for watching wherever you have been around the world. That is all from Harlequins Live, but of course we are back for every home game, so if you can't make it to the ground, then make sure you join us. There are always great giveaways. There were always opportunities to ask our experts. Of course, we've had players, but now to have club legends on the show is brilliant as well. Remember that date for your diary as well, 5th of February, the game changer. Get down here to the Stoop to support Harlequins winning the Premier 15's champions against their bitter rivals Saracens. There will be tickets, and we expect to see you here. But until we get to speak again, take care of yourselves. Come on, you Quins.
Up the Quins.
Goodbye.